Hello, good evening. Wow, that is dark, isn't it? Welcome to a TOD Rolls Dice live stream. We are here, of course, for the New Year preview 2026 for Warhammer, well, Games Workshop, I guess, but it's Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy 3.0, let's not forget that all-important 3rd edition, and a bit of Blood Bowl as well. I've set up a poll. I'm going to have to tweet these lights, aren't I? I've set up a poll. Just let me know what you're interested in. I can sort of see it, but since YouTube has tweaked a few things, or maybe it's just because the channel is now monetized, everything's different and I don't know where anything is. It's been a while since we've streamed, and it's been a long time since I've streamed consecutively. So hopefully you can hear me. I will fire up the audio on here as we get closer. We are going to run through a couple of things first. We've got a couple of minutes before we start. Excuse the traffic sounds. I can't do much about that, I'm afraid. But we are live. It looks like everything is okay. Let me just tweak these lights a little, see if we can at least get a little bit of brightness going on in here. And then we'll jump into a couple of articles. So bear with me, I will be back in just a second. You know how everything works, and you get it all set up, and then you press go and something goes wrong? Well, that's sort of where we're at. But we're here now. Welcome everybody in chat. Hope you're all doing well on this Friday evening. I'm going to say we've got a few minutes, so how about we just run over what might possibly be coming today? I've got a couple of articles loaded up. In fact, should we do the big one first? That one isn't loaded up. I've done really well today, haven't I? So this is, over on WarCom, the preview article that dropped earlier in the week. We have some pictures and things that we will have a look at on Instagram. But really the big thing is Red Corsairs. We know that they're coming. Huron Blackheart, however you want to say it, has been revealed. What do we think? Nice model? I still don't like the face. It's not the face, the grin. It's the grin that freaks me out the most. But maybe that's a good thing. The rest of it I quite like. And we also had down here his surgeon, Chaos Surgeon, which is pretty cool. Really nice looking model. This is the kind of chaos that I like. Not overly chaos, not demon-y. Some really cool, fun stuff going on. And of course, we have another 5 models of his command squad to be revealed tonight. We know that they're coming. I think there's some space elves coming as well. I also think there's some elves coming for Blood Bowl, so who knows? Zenny, how are we doing? Nice to see you. Oh, what has gone on with my chat? Can I get rid of that? I don't want to close that. Oh, right. So chat has broken on that screen, but I've still got you here. Warhammer team still doing the most cartoony looking stuff. I think, yeah, the Sigmar stuff is looking pretty good. Maybe not, for me, best models. I think Necromunda has the best model. But the Age of Sigmar, the design philosophy that's coming through on pretty much everything they design at the moment is looking really, really cool. I am excited to see what Sigmar is. I'm thinking Cities of Sigmar. I don't have anything to back that on, just a couple of rumor engines. 40k does seem to be moving into that slightly more cartoony edge. But again, I think that these design studios are just finding out their philosophies. And we'll see. With these models, they preview it in one paint scheme, but how you paint it is going to define how it looks. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're doing well. It's always nice to hear. Appreciate you dropping in. So, yeah, as we know, and then we have some pointier-eared pirates teased as well. So lots of Corsairs coming. Maybe some green skin pirates too, fingers crossed. But this stuff is looking really cool. Where are we? There was one last thing that I wanted to look at, was the Instagram. I think it's that one. So this is a little tease of what's coming just before this preview kicks off. Golden Bananas, it's clearly in this style of Custodes, right? Custodes, I think was supposed to release last month for Horus Heresy 3.0. We know that they're going to be coming, so at the very least, Golden Boys and Girls, maybe, are getting something. I don't know what this one is. Glowing Green Bones? Oh, I don't know, it could be anything. I think that's Blood Bowl. But then I also think this is Blood Bowl. Star-shaped glasses in the back there, but pirates, elf ears, and then the Blood Bowl soft toy. I think that there's going to be some sort of piratey, elfy Blood Bowl stuff too. But who knows? Anything can be revealed at these. I have just lost all of my... I think it's that one. There we go. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for the 40k stuff because I love a good end campaign. The rest of it, I mean, Sigmar for me is quite a big pull. I'm enjoying my Dark Oath. I still need to get them finished. Need to really get them started, I guess. Let's just throw that music on there as well. So hopefully you guys can hear that and it's not too loud. We should be able to hear the commentary whenever this, I'm guessing, pre-recorded show goes live. But at least we're all here. Anything needs tweaking in the audio and stuff, just let me know, and I'll see what we can do at this end. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing 40k Sigmar. Blood Bowl doesn't interest me, but sometimes those models are just ridiculously characterful. Audio's good, excellent, good to hear, thank you. Heresy's the interesting one because I don't think we're going to get many Space Marines. I think it is going to be Custodes, potentially a Primarch or two. I guess that's Space Marines. But you know what I mean, not the rank and flank, boring Space Marine stuff, because there's so many different variants of Mark armor in plastic now. We'll see. I think Horus Heresy is probably going to be the outlier for this one. But 40k for me, big old end campaign, 11th coming, probably in June. Do we think June? Much more into the campaign stuff, and everybody's here, we're live.
Warhammer Preview. I'm Adam Troke. I'm joined by my friend and
Ogres for AOS, possibly, yeah. I think cities, dwarfs, I'd love some sort of dwarves for the Cities of Sigmar faction.
Some Warhammer Age of Sigmar, a little bit of Horus Heresy, some new animation to have a look at, and some
animation, cool.
A packed preview with a little bit of something from every corner of Warhammer.
And it looks like it's pre-recorded, so hopefully the audio issues and all of the streaming issues from last time won't be a thing.
Time with us. We're going to wait a while before we jump into the first preview so that people can continue to flood in. And it's always nice to do a little bit of welcoming and greeting everybody.
Okay, so we're going to get the usual bit of chat, corporate hellos and things.
Following along, we got some people monitoring the questions and making.
I do think cities could be good.
The right information. So let us know where you're
I'd love to see some elves and some dwarves to branch out the fairly new Cities of Sigmar faction. The human stuff is beautiful, but
Angels of Death kill team.
Nice.
Oh, that is a nice looking.
And I've Dark Angels them up. You can see there because
Dark Angels Sergeant there. Oh, Captain, I would guess.
They look lovely.
Yeah, they're all right. They're a bit more advanced. They're all undercoated, and a couple of them are base coated.
Oh, show off.
Well, yeah, I've not played as much kill team as I'd like, and this is.
What are those heads? Those heads are Dark Angels heads, aren't they? They look pretty good.
Yeah, we'll have fun. We'll be fun times.
I
That's
quite
the main
like
thing,
this.
right?
I know a lot of
Well,
people
I
don't. They just want to get into the
painted a better
previews and
chapter,
nah,
the
there we're talking.
Top two,
Proper
actually,
chapter,
then.
that one.
And I've just been painting dreadnoughts mostly.
I know people don't like this, but it is also nice to see that these guys
for
do actually do the hobby and are some way in it.
Contribution to the team is just loads and loads.
And
of
I do like Adam and Eddie
This is
as a
Brand
duo. I
Red
think they're
Moors.
pretty
they are
good.
Brand Red Moors, yeah. So I picked the angriest Space Wolves I could find for my green company.
Oh, perfect.
They're looking good.
So it'd be nice to just get a sense of where you're all tuning in from. We're seeing we've got people tuning in from
Right, I will
Spain
probably
and
warn you
France,
guys
a
now
bunch
just
from,
before we get
the
into
US,
it.
So welcome, loads of people from the UK, and even
I've had
here in
a
Nottingham.
busy day,
And a
lots of
couple, it
talking,
seems,
bit
as
of
far
voice
flung as
therapy in the middle as
upside down
well.
lands of
So
Australia.
if
So
my
well
voice
done for
goes,
Iron Manning
I'll
it and
just
staying up
smile and
all night.
nod
That's
and
good.
we'll carry on watching
Really
the
lovely to have
preview.
you all here. If you are
But
tuning
bear
in
with
from,
me.
far-flung places,
As I
and you wanna
say,
join
any
the
audio
conversation
issues
online,
or
we've
if the
got our
mic isn't coming
international,
through properly, just
social
give
media
me a
teams.
shout.
You'll see them here for Facebook and Instagram. Why not drop onto those handles and
Right,
join
what
the
are we getting
conversation
first?
in the
First,
landing,
it's going to be
right?
40k, right? Or are we going to get a
One of the things
double
that we'll be doing, I
40k?
mentioned previously, is we'll be keeping an eye on Twitch stream. If you want to ask a question, type the word question in block caps and then write your question afterwards, and we'll try and filter through and cover some questions about the things that we're showing to make sure that you get the answers that you need.
Yeah, we'll try and tell you all the important
Hopefully,
stuff, but there might be
we
some
do
things that
get
you really
some
want to know,
decent questions with decent
Yeah,
answers,
just
because a lot of the times they dodge the
yeah,
answer. They just
how
talk
big is
around
Blue
it.
all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
They can't
Yeah,
obviously go into rules and things.
yeah,
Some of the
there's only
rules
so much time
might
in the
not
world,
even
right?
have been
We reckon we'll
fully
be here probably for
finalised
the
and
next
published yet.
hour and a
So,
quarter or
Something
so.
like
It
that,
just
yeah.
depends how fast
oh
we
wow,
talk. And how much
that's
of
a
this show, and
long
there is
one.
a lot.
Maybe it is live.
We've already told people what we're going to show.
Huh.
We've already done the introductions. People know how
I
to
take
ask
it back.
questions.
I don't think it is
Might be time
pre-recorded.
to
Think it might
go
be time to
to
start.
our
And an
first
hour and a
reveal.
quarter
Let's go
of reveals
to the grim
is
darkness of the Dark Millennium.
quite a lot. Okay, that was a space elf. Demons, dinosaurs. I love that guy with a shotgun. He's my favorite. Oh, oh. Void Scout Corsairs. It is Prince Uriel. Oh, that's cool. Oh no, I'm liking Space Elves. It's not a dual box, it's separate army boxes. You're in Blackout
What
Command
a way
Squad,
to kick off the preview show with incredible
then
releases,
two
all
new
around the
factions.
Maelstrom. Eddie, how do we even start with this?
This is a fairly sizable release for Warhammer.
Pretty good start.
And two
Pretty solid.
armies
I want to
against
see
A
more.
lot of new plastic miniatures. Chaos Space Marines and the forces.
The
of
Masters
Ashtar,
of the
who start
Maelstrom. That's
on the
another.
diabolically
That's maybe not
heretical side
a
of
punk.
things. This
Maybe it is a punk
Huron
band.
Blackheart and the Masters of the
We're going
Maelstrom.
with band
We knew, of
names
course,
for this
Huron
end
Blackheart
campaign,
on
aren't
its
we?
way.
We have the
suspected there
Prog
might have been
Rock,
some other
Glam
Corsair
Rock
looking
Titus,
along with
and
him.
the
We
Wardens
can
of
now reveal that
Ultramar.
He is on his way as part of a character box set, not unlike the Titus box set we saw released.
I
over
like
recent
him.
Weeks. And it is
Love the alien
phenomenal set
companion.
of
Yeah, he's
characters,
growing on me.
starring, of course, Huron Blackheart. We've seen this guy before. a
I'm
little bit,
glad
but,
that there is
just around
references
30
to
might
those
not-
aliens
It's always
in
nice
the
to,
actual
look at the timeline
box
of
as
that.
well,
The
and troops and
Master of
things. That's
Corsair
cool.
series with his,
This is
little
the kind of
bonnet
chaos
for
that
the
I want.
dryer, and he's showing what happens when you go.
And I think there's some
alongside
really
the
cool
meltdown,
conversion and
so
kit bash
courtesy of
options with this if you
Andy's
don't want to go
Star
Red
Fan from this
Corsairs as
chapter.
well.
Yeah, he doesn't come alone, as you mentioned. There is
Master
a
of the
swathe
Red
of
Corsairs.
Interesting characters in his retinue.
Maybe I'm going
Some of
Chaos
those.
for
First up
2026.
would be Geryon the Corpse Master. He's the
Carry
Lord
on, we've
Officer of the
seen.
Red
He's
Corsairs.
looking really
He
good.
was
I like his
previously
grim,
in
twisted
the
face.
Astral Claws, the chapter that was. And he
And the guy
harnessed
there
Huron's,
on his base.
machinations
Yeah,
to,
he's not going to enjoy this. He's
play about with
done.
their gene seed and evade the gene seed tithe,
That's
which is
naughty.
the whole problem that kicked off the Fourth Quadrant Rebellion in the first place.
And the rest is history. of
Yeah, well,
course.
exactly so.
So some fun stuff about how he plays in games. Obviously,
we're getting
kind
rules
of not
teasers.
really got the best interest at heart of the Red Corsairs that he battles alongside. You can see a Red Corsair on the base there, probably
clutching the apron awkwardly.
Yeah, he's not going to get the medical attention that he's particularly looking for. He has a
He's
special
not
rule
going
basically
Dreadnought.
where if a Red Corsair unit near him is at half strength, he can have a command point because he's harvesting the gene seed and that's what he's looking for. He can also bring models back into the unit that he is in, so Huron
Interesting.
and his retinue are a little bit more durable.
Not the battlefield medic that the Red Corsairs might want, but definitely the one they deserve. Next up in line is Qatar Garrix, who is the headsman of the Red Corsairs. This is Huron Blackheart's personal executioner, and he comes
pretty
appropriately
cool.
enough from the Executioner's chapter. One of those
That
chapters
is
swept
pretty
up in the
cool.
Fourth
That
Quadrant
helmet
Rebellion
is
and part of the
amazing.
Balad War. He signed on permanently with Huron Blackheart after the events of that, and now serves as kind of like a warning to any Red Corsairs that might want to step out of line. His presence on the bridge of a vessel will quell even the smallest rumor.
The axe is probably the least interesting thing about him, isn't it?
The previous 7 people who had insurrections, that certainly sends a message, doesn't it?
Yeah,
in game terms, no massive surprises. That
you passed on Titus because you don't play Ultramarines.
He had precision and anti character on his weapon.
I'm always on the lookout for a new Chaos faction. I haven't got a Chaos army. I was going to go World Eaters, but this seems like a pretty good place to start. So much character.
And if you had Mantis Warriors in 2026 on your bingo card, congratulations. This is Garlon Soul Eater, who was once a Mantis Warriors librarian.
Soul Eater, strong name.
With the Red Corsairs, and he is known as the Tyrant's Witch, a formidable psyker, now a Chaos
That's
sorcerer,
a really cool power pack as well, with a Beastman skull.
Stories of him sort of turning the crews of like gun decks against their allies and like firing salvos at
that's nice.
Ships. And he's kind of
this is a solid command squad.
Manipulates all of the sort of schemes around.
There's a lot of schemes if you're a pirate to keep track of.
Well, I imagine so, right? He's also got a really cool.
And I love that pirate vibe as well.
Taking it off for more than a decade, and maybe he's hideously mutated underneath.
Could be. He's got some really tasty rules in Warhammer 40,000 as well. He has a precision psychic attack that is d6 plus 1 damage, which means you can basically pick out enemy characters in units and just take them out, basically mind wrench them out of reality.
Fantastic, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine,
a psychic sniper.
The next model is Immortal, and is the captain of the Reign of Spite. This is Captain Sargotta.
That's cool. Oh, it's the boot from the breaches as well, so you could do breacher troops.
Incredibly well placed within the noble houses.
They do have a battle force, yeah. So that I'd like to see the contents of that. Look like Terminators as well as troops, didn't it?
While she was convalescing, sort of her position and station were taken from her.
I thought that she would be, and I think I said this in my video, she would be some sort of AdMech, Dark Mech servitor thing, but she's not. She's captain.
Very piratey.
Exactly, and now she serves on
she looks amazing.
The biggest battle cruisers in Huron's fleet, where she oversees a lot of his operations. She also joins the battlefield sometimes, which is why she's on this command airs here.
Yeah, I think this is my favourite model from this box set.
It's really good.
It's really, really fun. It's like
such a great Necromunda model. I'll just throw that out there.
The thing that she's floating around on actually is something that she uses during boarding of enemy ships. So it's effectively like a mobile command day.
Void battles, boarding actions at battles with these is going to be so good.
So she is
definitely a motley crew, and we haven't got to the Xenos yet.
Underneath, you can imagine them slotting into all the ports in a a plundered ship, and then suddenly all of those data slates behind her come alive with all the information you need to essentially steal an entire battle.
Man, she looks cool. I don't like.
Imagine one of those was a pirate.
I like everything I'm seeing here. Let me put it that way.
Really exciting addition. The next one,
except Huron's face.
A lot of people have been trying to guess what this means.
I love this.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you did, well done.
This is a Tyrellian dog soldier known as the Enforcer.
Tyrellian dog soldier.
Essentially, the warrior that Huron sends out to hunt down those who would dissent against him. And
so 2 of those, 3 of those images are rumor engine images.
And so the Enforcer hunts them
the
down
gauntlet,
relentlessly,
the shotgun, the back of the dog.
Plunder, which is the canine-ish, canid-looking creature.
These guys need kill team rules.
Adolescent Barghisi.
They might be a bit strong for kill team.
That's because in Warhammer 40,000 there's a thing called the hyper-violent Barghisi.
Tolarian dog soldiers. I've just noticed the knife on the... Oh, I love a knife on a breastplate.
Called the hyper-violent. When she first met it...
Can we get a unit of them? 8 out of 10? That's pretty strong, Zenny. That's very strong.
Now it serves
straight out the gate, 8 out of 10.
But she has to keep an eye on it.
Necromunda model as well. Great bounty hunter model.
Really rapid growth, and eventually it will become too big to manage. And rumours of Barghisi like devastating entire spaceports run rife. So
it's a good looking box, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed so far.
Woodshed.
Or the space farm.
Oh yeah, we're a happy ending for everybody in the grim darkness of the far future.
I think what this miniature does.
That's my favourite miniature.
The story of Huron and the Maelstrom itself is indicating that not only have you got like renegade Chaos Space Marines and humans, you also have alien pirates and bounty hunters and all the kind of ne'er-do-wells and piratical forces from the whole region gravitating towards the Maelstrom.
Right,
so it's not just about Chaos Space Marines. He is the master of this enormous empire.
I've always liked the idea of the Tau auxiliary stuff. Not crew. I'm not a big fan of crew, but Tau warriors with the Grevesa, the humans. You can kit bash.
places. Then the
and then other alien races joining them. I always wanted the Votan to be able to ally in with Tau.
Speaking of Huron Blackheart, he does not come alone.
Built in with this box, this is really cool.
Everything you see here comes in
okay, so what have we got? We've got troops, we've got cultists, similar looking cultists to what we already have.
Some brand new ones. Let's take you through what you can see in here.
Yeah, so some of these miniatures, all of these
Raiders
miniatures will actually be available separately. Some of
with
these
melter guns. Oh, look at that guy! That pose, Raiders. That's the real duelist pistolero.
Effectively the elite of the Red Corsairs. They sit somewhere between legionaries and chosen.
It's that classic style armor as well, isn't it? It's not over the top. It's still quite toned down and very loyalist.
Different conflicts within the Maelstrom. As far as in-game, they are a really useful little unit. They have infiltrate. They have 3 wounds each.
Wow.
Really respectable combat. Line.
These guys are cool.
Melter guns and power fists and stuff that you can put into the unit. So a really useful all-round unit.
Yeah, and they're not just.
So we've had Space Vikings, which I loved. We now have Space Pirates, which I love. I'm going to be so broke when this comes out.
Of the, these mighty Space Marine legions. So a lot of
the faces I'm not sure on. That's the only problem.
And so on is sort of cobbled together.
Going to be a huge FOMO pre-order, 100%. That's what they want, isn't it?
It's really quite exciting.
It's going to be a big box, but then it's probably going to release with the Eldar Corsairs.
Oh, very good, very good.
So there might be a little bit of people having to pick.
You can see the Chaos Terminator squad. These are the Chaos Terminators that you already know and love if you're a Chaos.
They look like the normal
player.
ones.
The difference here being
upgrade sprue.
New sculpted detail shoulder pads, which are included within this box set. So essentially, you can just tailor them to look like Red Corsairs. Obviously, Chaos Terminators are fantastically useful if you're living your life via the medium.
Okay, so Red Corsairs upgrade sprue potentially.
Red Corsair Black Library stories as well. Yeah, so this is very thematic for them to have. I think they look great in red and black as well.
It's a really striking.
They look amazing. The color scheme is incredible.
Similarly, you have the Legionaries. This is the same kit that you
with an upgrade sprue
from the other Chaos Space Marine Legions. And again, there's upgrades that tailor them towards looking like Red Corsairs. So you've got these fantastic Red Corsair shoulder pads. And then
I'm not against it.
As well.
I'm not against upgrade sprues for the because the existing, certainly the new Primaris. I hate that word.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Upgrade sprue.
Upgrade kit. So you can see there you've got the Terminator.
That's the wow. That's a pretty poor upgrade kit.
Also fit anything in that kind of like size of armor if you want to have some like Raptors.
Shoulder pads are good. It's really slimmed down compared to the Space Marine stuff.
The heads are cool, yeah. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? And then there's some big transfers as well. So if you want to have like Rhinos and Land Raiders and Dreadnoughts and things.
It's nice that it's included, though. I would have expected more, bearing in mind that Ultramarines got about 50 heads in a box.
To build a big Red Corsairs force, well, you'll be able to.
But I like this.
That was all pretty exciting, but it's not done. There's also
these are the same guard squad.
Exact straight guardsmen, you know.
Yeah, okay. So this is it's a FOMO box, but really the only FOMO thing is
people that flock to Huron's banner,
an upgrade sprue, basically. But this is cool. You got a mix of Space Marine units and cultists.
We've got one more miniature, I think.
Yeah, and so bringing up the rear is actually my favourite model out of this launch. I think the Reeve Captain really just hits home on what it means to be a Renegade Chaos Space Marine. Just a fantastic model. He's a multi-part kit, but the one right in the centre is the one that...
Is that Maul, the Maul that we saw a couple of days ago in the rumour engine?
Picked up bits and pieces from lots of battles, and he just looks incredible. And he's quite...
The armour looks great.
Yeah, so there's loads of
I like this.
To start with. So this is a multi-part plastic kit. You've got a choice of 2 different combat weapons. They've got different stats in the game. You've got a sword and you've got a mace.
This box is looking good for people who want to get in on the Red Corsairs, but also want to expand a Chaos Army. Which is... And I'm all for upgrade sprues, to be honest. More upgrade sprues, less Marnius Calgars. It's going to be my stance for 2026. It's a solid box, you're right, it is a solid box.
He is a little bit less fighty.
Is he included in the box as well? I guess he is. Initially, he's going to be the FOMO model.
Which means that he's a great addition to some of those Red Corsair squads we talked about
before.
He's
got infiltrate.
So right up in the enemy's face early on in the game. He can also give you loads of abilities when you charge into close combat, and you've got lots of stuff across the Chaos Codex that allows you to have things like run and charge.
I think I'm going to become a space pirate.
So you can get an extra point of strength.
It can't be
an
helped.
extra point of AP and re-rolling charge.
So we've got Space Vikings, we've got Space Roman Legionaries, we've got Space Pirates.
It's a pretty tasty little combo.
When are we getting Space Cowboys?
And worth saying as well, with all of the stuff that we've just talked through there, you can absolutely do this as a red Corsairs army if you want. If you want to go all in for Huron Blackheart and go with the red and
This
black
is why Huron isn't in this army
or
box.
you can add these into any other Chaos Space Marine army. So if you've got an existing Black Legion army and you want to sprinkle a little bit of red Corsairs into it, or team them up with the Alpha Legion, you can absolutely do that.
Perfect. We are not even halfway done with the stuff for this Maelstrom section. We've talked about Huron and the Red Corsairs. In that video that we saw at the beginning, we saw
That's only
another
half
force.
the pirates we have.
Exactly.
It sounds
so let's
like
go and look at Prince Iriel and his Eldritch
they're not
Raiders.
getting their own rules right now.
A little bit of a lore dump for you if you're unaware. Prince Iriel is
This is a good-looking box too.
Eldari hero.
Although it just looks like elves.
He is the saviour of Craftworld Iyanden when it was under attack from the hive fleets of the Tyranids, and really solidified his sort of place in legend. But the thing he loves is to range across the galaxy, reaving, and at the head of this army, the Eldritch Raiders.
That
is a box set. Everything you see on here
isn't the kill team, is it?
Through and have a quick look at all of those things. First out of the gates are the Corsair Skyreavers.
Yeah, so this is a really useful little unit for Corsairs. You can include these in a Corsair
Is
army
this
or
a
in
new set?
Entirely Craftworld army if you want to, and this is a really flexible, fast-moving unit. You can.
I'm not a big fan of the Eldari, to be honest.
They come as standard with Corsair blades and Shuriken pistols, which is a great little kind of.
No, okay, so this is a new kit. But there's something about the piratey vibe when they pirate them up. The Void Scarred kill team was a beautiful kit.
So if you want to make them anti-infantry,
so if I was going to have a splattering of Eldari, I'd never do 2,000 points.
Like that in the unit.
I would probably go this route.
Movement abilities. They come with Scout, Deep Strike.
Of course, they have Scout and Deep Strike.
Movability as standard, which means they're going to be very hard to pin down. So they've got a phenomenal kind of objective game.
So these are basically Harlequins, but better.
Aspects of the Eldritch Raiders that makes them famous. They're also a lovely callback to some very classic Rogue Trader era artwork.
They don't look new though. They just look like they've been painted in a different colour. Because we do have the ones with the Sky Reavers, the wings, whatever. I know nothing about Eldari.
In a similar vein in terms of the flexibility and the way they fight, there's another unit within this set. You'll be familiar with them if you've maybe played Kill Team over the last few years. These are the Corsair Void Reavers. So it's the same kit returned, and they'll be in this.
It is the same kit because that kit has disappeared, and they don't have competitive rules for Kill Team now. They used to, but I think that they've just been phased out.
They have loads of different weapon options.
So, I love the weapon designs. That's what I like about this kit. The guns are they're okay, but the rapiers and the blades, the power swords, so cool.
The bits in the kit are really interchangeable with the other new Corsair stuff that's on its way as well. So
interchangeable is good.
It's a really flexible unit, and now it's even more flexible in terms of how you can build it. And
I thought they looked familiar. There's quite a lot of repeated plastic. Like the backbone of all of these boxes is repeated models.
These all into battle.
I wonder how that's going to go down with the wider community.
Which is Karseth. Karseth is a Void Dreamer. What is a Void Dreamer, I hear you ask? Well, a Void Dreamer is a type of Eldar Seer. And
don't like the helmet.
Specializes in being
looks like a fly.
Subtle fluctuations in the fabric of reality. So one of the gifts that Karseth has is to detect warp translations. Imagine that you come out of the warp with your fleet and you're straight into the gun sights of the Eldritch Raiders sat waiting for you. That's quite the boon for Iriel and his team. Also, Karseth specifically coordinates the efforts of the Eldritch Raiders.
It is an odd choice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Firing together. You can imagine them sort of speaking into the minds of the warriors and making sure that everybody's all on the same page.
Yeah, so a really useful...
Interesting idea, clearly going into the psychic stuff and psychic navigation through the webway and all of that side of things, dealing with the warp.
But the reason that they really
as a pose, I like it. I like the way that the cloak is billowing out and the
they can see the future. You can
dress, whatever it is,
sort of thing. That's great to
it's
put
just
on your
billowing.
Objective or to just screen out large portions of the battlefield.
Not quite a tactical rock, tactical rubble. I guess we're going with.
Thing that would be good for you. The other ability,
but I'm just not sure about that helmet.
Hit an enemy unit with their psychic
but
attack.
Again, different, slightly different paint scheme, or just trim it off.
So
you know, you could do a lot with it.
Logistic unit to help the rest of your Corsairs hit even harder.
I like that we're getting a little bit of a 180 of the models as well as a couple of pictures.
Iriel is the outcast prince of Iyanden, and he's returned
so you get helmet and normal like bare head.
Once again by leading an army into the Maelstrom.
I'm not as big of a fan of his
the Spear of Twilight, a very
pose.
famous weapon. It's extremely dangerous. He's on his eye. That bionic is called
The helmet is a big focus, isn't it? It's a big part of the model.
And he's a devastating combat leader as well as an actual leader of warriors.
Yeah, so a really...
That was a rumour engine.
I mean, a phenomenal miniature, right? Like, it looks really
Wasn't it
cool.
that bit? They're answering all of the rumour engines in this.
But it's still very recognisably the
Pistol and knife sheath.
In game terms,
Really cool pistol holster there.
Either leader for a Corsair army, or you can put him into a standard Craft World force, and he has a very useful ability to
mix and match.
Some of your units before the game starts.
He can be
and he also has some boosts to whatever unit he's joined. So
used in a variety of
and a combat stat line that punches
Eldari armies, which is good.
The Eldar heroes. He's got a really nice damage.
Again, it sounds like they're adding these sub-factions, but they're true sub-factions. They're not getting their own specific rules. Maybe in 11th edition they'll be spun out into their own codex supplements or something.
And he's got 2 banners.
They very much sound like a supplement thing.
So, obviously...
On the whole, pretty nice. I mean, Red Corsairs, starting with them first. Yeah, that's nice though. The Starfang's cool.
Eldari
is this new?
Unit, which is designed to go alongside the Corsair Raiders as they fight. It's pretty good in its own right. Eddie, can you talk us through it?
I absolutely can. So this is a really useful little utility unit. So first and foremost, it has a fairly respectable amount of
There's
firepower.
a guy in the back.
Its firepower is geared to kill
It's like a snow speeder.
level stuff. So AP3, strength 6, 2 damage stuff. So it's a Space Marine killer in terms of its damage output. There's a disintegrator cannon you can see on the front of it there. But one of the other things it does for your army, which is really useful, is it can make one of your infantry units have stealth. So its grenade launchers can basically cover the one of your infantry units in kind of cover and give them...
it's very similar to the current Eldari stuff, isn't it? Which seems to span a couple of decades. Design-wise, they've had very familiar.
Nice. One of the things that's really exciting...
It might not be new.
...is a twofer kit, as we sometimes call them. Essentially, the kit that's in the box, and eventually it will be available separately, also makes the Viper, which I believe is actually the name that the box will live under. This is a classic Eldari vehicle.
This has got to be a new one then, new Viper.
30 years or more.
I think it's longer than 30 years.
Oh, you've aged me terribly.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a classic light attack vehicle. It's 2 crew. It's got that turret on the back. And it's got a range of weapons available to it, right?
Yeah, so this is the updated Viper. It will be recognisable to anybody who's had a Viper in their army. It still retains a lot of
like the second compartment.
But some of the weapon options are a little bit more flexible than they used to be. It still has the option.
I get the design,
cannon. You can have
and it still has that streamlined angle, but I don't like this break here.
Viper, you also have the option now to put an Eldar missile.
And I don't like that that's an open cabin either, just seeing the leg of the guy there.
Anti-tank unit, you can put 2 of these in a unit, so you can make
they're quite small.
2 Eldar missile launchers shooting into something becomes quite formidable.
2 in a unit as well.
Interesting. With shuriken cannons and star cannons and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so here we got a really good look at it in person on the desk. It is a fantastic looking kit.
I definitely prefer the one that's done up as the Eldar Corsair.
If you build it the right way, the turret has some play, so you can maneuver a little. This is an heavy metal painted one, and I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to fiddle with it too enthusiastically.
Apparently, the turret does move, which is why it looks like that. But I don't like that it's not a sealed compartment, if that makes sense. I mean, that's a personal design choice for me.
Very classic design.
But this looks cool and sleek, whereas that break, it pulls me out of the aerodynamic design and stuff.
So the crispness on the detail on this, some of the posability, the
I mean, they say it might have a bit of movement in it, but would you really
it fits really neatly and nicely
want it to move? Just glue it together.
Inside the cockpit's detailed, so you can paint that and then seal the canopy in with the sort of like transparent plastic. And you've got options for the crew.
It's nice. But it is just an Eldari speeder, isn't it? It's a cut down Eldari speeder.
And then you've got the classic sort of craftwood helmets on the Viper, but you can mix and match.
You can actually see that is just flipped around.
Where do you
the back of that, isn't it?
These,
yeah, okay.
Corsairs, both the
interesting, because it is a slightly different profile.
Well, of course,
and it's a clever way of doing 2 kits in one. Here we go.
This is the succinctly named Warhammer 40,000, the Maelstrom, Lair of the Tyrant, into the Nightmare Realm. If you are familiar with
the
Titus,
leaks were true.
Just released, I think. This is a very similar idea.
Titus isn't out yet, I don't think. It's out next week, I believe.
All of the events that we've talked about and the characters and things, and some brilliant new and exciting ways to play Warhammer 40,000.
So previews will confirm this, but I'm expecting this to be the same idea as the 500 Worlds. So the detachments will be released for free.
Dives into the history and environment.
5 out of 10, 5.5.
All the locations within the Maelstrom.
You're a hard person to please.
Never seen before. We find out about
I think
key planets within that region.
if you're not into Eldar, it isn't going to work regardless. If you are into Eldar, it's probably about what you want without being too flashy. None of the Eldar stuff I thought was different enough. Voidsguard we've seen before. Voidsguard is a stunning kit, very individual to what I thought the other Eldari stuff was. Everything else in that box just kind of looks like the Eldar stuff. For good or bad, they know their audience, I don't.
Encourages you to sort of create your own.
It is all very samey, yeah. But if it's new Eldari stuff, people are going to hopefully be excited about it.
And obviously,
I think you'd make a great player.
Cooler than me because he's a Dark Angels company master normally. But you can sort of get different war gear and different special rules and all of that stuff to make really exciting and unique characters.
Yeah, this is.
And then use them in your games. Which is
hopefully, we have another couple of these. So we've had 500 Worlds, the Maelstrom.
As you might have guessed, has some detachments in.
There is other characters that we've already had previewed that will probably be referenced in these books.
All of the rules that are for match play will also be made available.
I'm liking this without actually seeing one of these books and the setup of it and the actual information inside. I'm liking this delivery system as a special end campaign. I wouldn't want every Crusade book to be like this. That would get messy. But this is pretty good, and hopefully all of these rules will pop up online before everything goes up for pre-order, like it did with 500 Worlds, so we can talk about it. Because this is looking good. Red Corsairs, for me.
New battalions. There's 2 of these.
Oh, a new battalion. Drakari.
And it's
interesting.
Let's be honest.
It's going to be a big year for 40k. Yeah, an 11th edition, they're going to want to push the sales pretty hard.
They were kind of the original Eldar pirates, the Drakari here.
This is what they're not doing enough of.
Themed box. So if you're looking to start
I don't think. I think they could be doing more battalions.
This is a great.
The Necrons one was good. It sold out incredibly quickly. I know there were a lot of complaints about it selling out so quickly.
5 Hellions and 10 Witches, so loads of that witch
stuff. And the price of these, I think, is a bit
much.
much. But you get more models in that.
For a new Drakari army, or just the reinforcements if you're already deep into that
collection. But they could be cashing in on this stuff a lot more.
Leagues of Votan Battalion.
Oh, that's nice.
The Memnir Strategist. And 6 Ironkin Steeljacks.
6 Steeljacks. So that's where all the Steeljacks have gone. I'd like to start a Votan army. I've already started a Votan army. I'd like to increase my Votan army with Steeljacks, so that might be a good one.
Yeah, and kind of a nod as well. A lot of the lore in this
they do seem to be selling out of models pretty quickly, don't they? Which isn't good when they have all these new factories and all this stuff going on. 2 video games this year as well.
And all sorts of stuff.
And there's opportunities in there. It's like
what's the second one? We have
the will to claim it.
Exactly so.
Is it Dawn of War 4 coming out this year?
We have been keeping an eye on some questions. And
mind you, Total War 40k is early next year, isn't it? Apparently, so.
Prime Mod Hale asks, will Huron and his mates be available separately later, or will we be condemned to a character box?
Huron is in the character box in the same way that Titus is. So there's 2 big boxes coming out initially for the Red Corsairs. One of them is the Red Corsairs Army, which is the Reeve captain leading a force of Red Corsairs, and the other one is Huron and his bodyguard. Everything in the big battalion box will be available separately.
Total War 40k is going to be huge as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. Dawn of War 4 is going to be big. Total War probably bigger.
I think it's a unit in its own right and operates independently. So that is a good question.
I don't think
we will hopefully. If not at the end of the stream, we'll do it tomorrow.
Jocked 4020 is the turret.
But we will try and go over the articles at the end of this, so we get more of an idea of what's in these boxes, and we'll break it down that way.
I haven't built it, so I don't know for sure. You could certainly have a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep your questions coming in. We'll try and answer some as we go through.
I mean, can you imagine trying to sell the new edition of 40k? 40k 11th.
And your question is, which factions
it releases, it's 6 months old, just as an estimate.
There's an enormous list which I won't go through.
And then Total War 40k comes out and a whole new audience decides to get into 40k. And then you've got the Amazon stuff. With and without Henry Cavill, it sounds like. Warhammer is becoming a mainstream brand.
I'm quite sure that we will list the factions that you can use.
Warhammer is becoming such a threat to the industry that Marvel had to bring back Robert Downey Jr.
Left somebody out, to be honest. Perfect. Thank you very much. We should press on. So,
There is a little bit more Warhammer 40,000 later on as well.
yeah, that's fair to say. We are about to go to the Mortal Realms, but there's more Warhammer 40,000 later. But let's go to the Mortal
Leman
Realms
Russ. God, if it's Leman Russ, the stream might die from my excitement.
Yes, you can't just solve all of
That's what the bones are. It is Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I'm such an idiot.
the hell I can't.
Ooh, archers. Skeleton archers. I'm sold. Okay, this is a great stream. The Mortec Triaxi. Wow, we have gone from static rank and flank skeletons, which look good, but they look in their age now, to incredibly designed, unique looking, cloaked and different weapon, different dynamic posed Bone Reapers. Holy hell.
The armies of the Bone Tithe received some much desired reinforcements.
Wow, indeed. Yeah, wow.
The Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Eddie, let's talk
I've
about
always
what you
liked the
saw, I
Bone
guess.
Reapers.
So this is a fairly large...
I've always liked
block of
archers and
units
skeleton
for
warriors and...
Ossiarch Bone Reapers. A lot of these units fill a really nice niche in the army that players have been looking forward to for a long time.
Oh,
When we
wow.
start with
Oh,
the
no.
Vortex
My Dark Oath aren't
Triaxes,
going to get finished,
we
are they?
saw a Ossiarch with a bow quite a while back, actually, in a Warhammer
Yes,
Underworld
similar
Warhammer.
pose
Penguins
to...
Hunters, I think.
Absolutely, and I think
That one
way back then, people were
in a-
speculating. Of course, Nagash didn't make just one bow.
Underworld's
That would be a
box?
really strange thing to have done. He did, in fact, make loads of bows, and he's given it to his phalanxes, and now you can have entire units of bowmen in your Ossiarch Bone Reapers army, and that does some really fun stuff for you in terms of how you might approach building an army. You can now make a very shooty death army.
Are
which
we
has never
going to
been
start to get a lot more shooting units
Loads of these
for
backed
certain
up by,
armies in
your
Age of
Vortex Cordon
Sigmar?
things. You
Because
can absolutely dominate the shooting phase. They've got some really
Shooting
tasty
phase
tools
is-
in game. They've got very
is a bit of a
respectable
niche
damage
thing.
output with 2 shots each and a point of rend in there. And one of the things to
Oh,
mention is
wow,
those
the
little
skull where they've
daisies
got
that follow the unit
one
around.
eye
Yeah, these are
covered
my
for
favourite guys in
accuracy as
particular. I
well.
like the
They've
little
thought
videos
about
from
it.
them. These
Oh,
are Bale
hell.
Braziers you see in the bottom left of your screen right now. They're essentially tokens. What happens is if you fire the whole unit at one enemy, once you're done, you place one of these Balefire Braziers on that unit. And that has a few effects. The most significant from my point of view is that
Wow.
that unit, while it's got that token on, can't heal wounds or get models back. And so instead,
You can set units on fire.
and I rely.
That's the
Stormcaster
one of the
Thunder
rumor
on
engines as well, isn't
carrying
it?
damage to my unit. And
That
so it's
face
quite
doesn't
damning.
look as goofy now. We've seen it in full
addition to
colour.
Looking fantastic with those shrieking faces in the flames.
Yeah, the
Wow.
models are very cool as
Wow.
well. I like the kind of one eye look that they've got as well.
Yeah.
So obviously, Nagash
Got like
forges.
a bonus eye in their forehead.
Yeah, well, but it's maybe not quite where you'd expect it to be. Maybe it's like right at the top of where you'd hold an arrow. I don't know if that makes you better at shooting an arrow.
Do they
but
even see through
I
eyes
don't know.
anymore?
Who
I
knows,
don't know.
right? So, but anyway, they're quite good at shooting.
Don't know
You
if that
definitely
is an
see
eye,
it
but they all have it,
It's
don't
very
they?
fun.
So maybe it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is another infantry unit for the
They're
army,
incredible.
Mortis Reapers. They are dread assassins from the realm of death, and they use their Reaper's blades to butcher the enemy, specifically
Those
enemy heroes.
blades,
Yes, so
the
this is a very useful
poses.
unit for taking on enemy heroes and kind of those little isolated useful units like wizards and priests and stuff like that. They've got 2 things that help them out with that.
Wow.
They've got anti-hero on all of their weapons.
Just
They also have the
incredible.
ability to teleport through pieces of terrain. So you can move towards a terrain feature, you can pick the unit up and you can redeploy it on the other side of that
They have
terrain
smoke
feature to
grenades.
catch out enemies that are trying to hide behind cover.
Well, it's a
and things like
favourite
that.
tactic, right? You know,
Yeah.
park behind a piece of terrain and think you're safe, and these guys.
All
burst
right,
out the other
maybe
side.
Age of Sigmar is going to be playing a
And
bigger
fantastic
part on the
in terms of
channel,
imagery.
as well as
It's
40k11.
look and feel to what we expect from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, who are normally quite regimented and sort of militaristic.
Yeah, they used to sort of frowned upon within some of the Ossiarch circles, isn't it? Some of the,
Yeah, it's not quite the way it should be done.
it doesn't seem like
You
it's
could
fair.
do
Like
some
they are all
really
about winning,
cool,
aren't they?
Their boss makes the calls.
like flesh
That's true,
cloak
that's true.
things on them as well.
So, to lead these new infantry models into combat, we have a new hero. This is a Liege Mortec, a good, solid battle line leader to accompany the troops, and he has some good abilities in the game.
Not sure about
first and
what's
foremost,
going on
it's
with-
useful to have an infantry hero.
Oh, it's a shield, isn't it? You just can't see half the shield. Right,
He has
okay.
a particularly cool little ability,
Yes.
which is that
And a spear?
if he is in
Nice.
combat with an enemy
Good
unit
looking
and you
model.
activate him to fight, another unit nearby can fight.
I do
or
love
shoot
that
into the same combat, and they get
sort of
+1 to their hit rolls.
Greco,
That
almost
stacks really nicely
Spartan
with that
style
arch
to
unit,
them.
because
I've
effectively
always
you
loved
charge
that,
in with
the
this guy,
Bone
and then
Reapers.
they back him up with a rain of arrows as he slams into the enemy forces. So it's quite a kind of thematic look. He also stacks really nicely with your phalanxes of
Liege, Mortec. So different weapon options. He isn't a named character. You're a fan?
Garden Traxes and Crawlers,
they're looking pretty good.
Keep everything operating at maximum efficiency, I think.
This has been another good reveal show so far. Touch wood, it continues.
Great. Speaking of heroes, we also saw the Liege Cavalos on War Chariot. I feel like this is like something that
right, sell me on this.
From a world that was, back from ancient Nehekara with their, they were renowned for
their does feel a bit old world, doesn't it? Which is no bad thing.
To the mortal realms, amazing.
Yeah, so the
again very Greek style
idea of an ideal army. So
maybe Roman as well, but
the filter of the god of death. But these are very powerful units in the game.
I like.
Two versions of this.
Not sure about the skulls being full in the horses.
The hero chariot is
stacking them with skulls.
Unit. They both are, but the hero one has 12.
As a design aesthetic, I understand it for the Bone Reapers and what they do in the lore.
Even without being fast and having lots of other abilities, he's just really.
I'm not sold on it, but still.
But he stacks really nicely if you send.
Very good looking model.
Because he's got some abilities that let them kind of grind into the enemy units even after they've charged in and done all their kind of damage and impact hits and stuff. You can keep just doing stacks and stacks and stacks of mortal wounds into enemy units.
Yeah,
obviously they have an army theme and they have their own chosen paint schemes for this stuff. I think you could do some incredible things with this. Maybe not tone it down as much, a bit more glow effect, a bit more skeleton, make them a little bit gory, a little bit more grimdark. I think you could do a lot with this. It's a massive refresh, isn't it? Yeah. And none of this stuff is going to look too extreme compared to the older stuff, which still looks a bit static, but still holds up, I think, as a detailed kit.
Yeah, absolutely. What if you want to do something completely different? Well, we're releasing the Null.
Hopefully Dwarves will get some really cool stuff, yeah.
This is the personal army of Arkan the Black. And it's an army of renown. So if you want to take
that's an army of renown, right? Okay.
Slightly different feel. Essentially,
who's that guy?
To all of the units you would normally do, but you get some distinct bonuses. Essentially, Arkan and the wizards.
Interesting. This is cool. It does fit, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, their stuff. They're just static poses, but then they are skeletons.
To sort of reduce
the big stuff is always looks cool.
That would come your way. And it's super thematic.
Just the troops are a little bit bland, but then they're probably some of the older Sigmar models.
A very long time.
40+ years.
The heroes, it still stands up. I'm not degrading it in any way. And again, a lot of these models, it's how you paint them that will make them work. If you have a similar colour scheme running through your army, new and old models, as long as the scaling is right, which it will be.
So here we have the Heralds of the Bone Tithe, which is a regiment of renown for them.
Yeah, so effectively, this means that you can put some of your Ossiarch units
it's all going to work.
Death Force. So if you have something like a Soulblight,
it all looks solid. I do like that we're getting Regiment of Renowns and
you can send some of Nagash's
armies of renown in actual boxes. So if you are wanting to go down that route, they just make it easier. It seems like such a common sense move. They've only just started doing it the last couple of armies. This is really good, and I'm glad that they're doing it. Hopefully this makes it easier for people to actually jump into Age of Sigmar or play about with other factions that they maybe wouldn't have because they've had to buy so much.
If you can stop an enemy unit from fighting because they've run out of command points.
I definitely think Age of Sigmar in the last 18 months has learned some really valid lessons and is delivering itself, certainly product-wise and Spearhead-wise, rules-wise for Spearhead. It's delivering itself in a really great place to start and learn. Not sold on the bigger... that's a nice looking art book as well. Not sold on the 2,000 point big match play side of AOS yet, but as a smaller skirmish, I think it's pretty solid.
Really interesting new rule available to the army, which is
7 out of 10 for this stuff. I didn't think they'd get that much, but they needed it, looking at what they're getting.
And the heroes
very cool different units, which is fun.
So the Liege Mortec, this little guy here, gets 5, Nagash gets 10.
I have 2,000 points of Dark Oath to build.
really
well,
exciting. I've not
1,000 points is built and primed.
Deep diving into this ahead of this.
I have another 1,000 points to build. So we're almost at AOS level for one army.
Absolutely.
It's just the rest of it. And terrain. Terrain's a problem for me at AOS. I haven't got any AOS terrain. But it's definitely going to be something that we're looking at, and we're going to keep tabs on it, because the models, as we've just seen, absolutely stunning.
If you want to get a sense of the scale of things,
and they are going to do Amazon potentially part of the secret level stuff, we think. Might be a separate thing, but they are going to do something animated with Age of Sigmar 2. So Age of Sigmar is going to start to get some love.
Yeah, but both of these have got quite a lot of options and bits on them as well. So if you build either of these,
terrain thing is still half baked.
You can customize a little bit and choose whether you want.
I also just mean just for the battlefields, there isn't enough ruins and things that are available with the Sigmar style. I think Games Workshop, as a miniatures company, make incredible miniatures.
Could be a Lord of Death.
But it's also a game where you need battlefield terrain and things, and they just don't make the terrain. It's ridiculous. AOS does need a solid video game. Disciples of Tzeentch are coming as well. That's a pretty cool looking Battletome. The artwork for AOS, 4th edition, yeah, 4th edition, is incredible. I haven't seen a Battletome cover that I haven't really liked.
We are also with a new miniature, which is the
just as a fantasy, like a D&D sorcerer, end boss level sorcerer, that's pretty solid.
Of course, they are
I love that helmet.
Everybody who follows Tzeentch is in some way or shape or form.
It's not overly Tzeentchian either.
Primarily, they are leading things like your Chirac acolytes.
And the peacock isn't
because
pretty solid choice.
In general, they don't really play fair, so a lot of their tricks and things that they bring to the battlefield are less about winning.
I could kit bash that into something cool, so Chaos Saucer
some of their abilities to move
style thing.
Your own units around the battlefield. When the enemy comes within range to try and charge your units, all of a sudden
solid model.
Anymore, they're actually on the flank.
Really solid model.
Very advantageous.
Video game wise for AOS, what would you want to see?
They are still a Chaos Lord, and they still fight.
Obviously, a Space Marine 2
the tricks and the strategic
third-person style
really pop in your games.
Would be cool with just probably a Sigmarine charging through hordes of enemies.
It's just fantastic. This is the thing I'm most excited about for the Disciples of Tzeentch. These are the Argent Shards. Just fantastic embodiment of like the weirdness of Tzeentch, right? When you look at these and sort of the magic swirling around them. There's a story
I like talking of terrain.
Torn out by the rules and the lore. Essentially, you see the one on the left on the screen sort of being torn apart. These drift around the battlefield. They're really useful. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But if one is destroyed, if you don't get them both, the other one will split and essentially make a new one. And so that machine splitting apart, that's really part of its own story.
That's a cool manifestation.
Yeah, so they've got two abilities, effectively. One of them is that if one of them is on the battlefield, you can immediately make another one in your hero phase. And if you've got them on the battlefield, you can reposition them as well. And the reason you might want to reposition them is that
they're quite chunky as well.
Channel their magic through. So if you're
close
to one of these and you're a Tzeentchian wizard, and
deeper than I thought they'd be.
If you've got a Tzeentch army, because that's kind of the whole army. You can use these to cast.
I mean, again, nice looking models, well painted. Not taking. Oh god, they're huge, amazing.
Both of them at the same time. We've got them on the table here.
Different paint scheme, gruesome them up a little bit more. They would look incredible.
And the Stormcast Eternal there. So they're fairly big pieces of terrain.
RPG, best like Rogue Trader, yeah, CRPG kind of style. I think that's how you do it. I think if you're going to do an AOS, you need to make it a group thing. You stay away from the action game. And you make it a bit more tactical, you make it a bit more, I mean, CRPGs and things like that, since Baldur's Gate 3 style AOS game would be incredible, because you can tell an amazing narrative with so many different factions.
For the more realms, there is another one, almost equally magical as well. These are, of course,
Lumineth are coming as well, so no Cities of Sigmar yet.
Everything you'd expect from a Battletome.
That's a kind of a boring
fantastic new lore and all of the rules and things you will
cover, isn't it?
Play your games. The Lumineth Realm Lords army rules have had a shake-up, which is quite.
That's not as cool as the other two.
With the team from the Warhammer studio, all about that.
That central piece, like that central warrior, is quite cool on his own. But the background doesn't really work for me.
There's also a new model for them.
Lumineth, yeah.
Have been really well served with battlefield wizards.
Banyari Lord Regent. So he's going to go with the swordsman, isn't he? Solid.
Yeah, so the Lord Regent effectively leads your Imp.
That's every cover they get.
Battle. They
Probably,
are
probably.
an elven lord, so they've got.
My problem with them is the helmets.
But the real thing they bring to the battle are
the poses are nice. The armor is done really well.
Units when they rally, because they are a shining example.
I don't like the 3-string bows either. That's just too much.
Models, especially when they cost so many points for Lumineth.
They are very
elf that joins your forces
high fantasy. They're definitely a much more of a weird fantasy. Oh, interesting options. Cool.
They can basically have the phalanx.
They're definitely the most weird super fantasy on steroids fantasy faction. I was sort of hoping that AOS was moving away from that, and all the recent stuff has moved away from that. The colour scheme is pretty nice, yeah. I do like that bone white, kind of like vibrant style. I think you could make it gleam a little bit more, like the light of the elves or whatever the thing is.
You can see this one's got like a little amphora.
The purple's nice as well. The purple, the flash of colour on the capes against the white armour is cool. The helmets are just stupid for me, and I bet they break a lot.
There we go. Again,
love the sword though. That sword there, that pose, really cool. I love a good swordsman style
really hits near my heart. It says from Prime Chatmandu. It says, "Do you ever get nervous when you're touching Evermore miniatures? Let me tell you, I am terrified every time I touch Evermore miniatures."
When they hand them over, they sort of scowl.
Yeah, well,
so we're not really allowed to.
Each of these represents like dozens, if not hundreds, of hours of work, right, by the best painters in the world, and they need to be treated that way. The first ever battle report I played years and years ago, I dropped a hell cannon, and I've always been nervous about it ever since. Next question is:
will say.
Can I use, and it's talking about
the painting
this is from,
is always very good.
A MOE proxy? I think
much better than anything I could do. They obviously know their trade and they know where they're going.
But that said,
I think the colour schemes for some of the models doesn't show them off well enough, or in a way that I would appreciate them.
For a fun question is,
but I would never want to touch anything that's been painted that well, because they are pieces of art. And yeah, no, if they look that good, I don't want to touch them.
Never going to outlast.
I just no, too much for me. I like to push mine around and poke them with grubby fingers, you know.
We're going to go now from the Mortal Realms to a very unusual place, which is the Gridiron.
40k stuff was better painted.
Elves, and we go to Blood Bowl.
Interesting.
So, time for us to talk a little bit about the latest Blood Bowl team to approach the Gridiron. These are the Calador
elves.
Dragons.
Yeah, I said we'd get elves for. Are they elves?
This is a classic Blood Bowl team which has been
yes, high elves. Yeah, I thought we'd be getting high elves.
Redone, updated in plastic.
Yeah, macro detail. Yes, sometimes. For me personally, it's just over the top. They accentuate too much. There's too much edge highlighting and stuff like that. It doesn't do anything for me. I can appreciate it, but sometimes you don't need to see all of the detail. And that's just my choice.
Sealers of the Gridiron for the Calador Dragons. Incredibly skilled players. They've got a fantastic stat line. They have.
Has anybody bought Blood Bowl Season 3? Would be my question. I don't feel like it was necessarily needed.
6+ and you don't get knocked down, so you can use that against.
Well, we got 3 lots of things for AOS, but 2 of the battle tomes was just 1 new character each.
Which means they can never give the ball away no matter what.
Which is a bit of a shame.
So the trick with this is to burst.
But the Osiak stuff was amazing. I don't really know what else the Lumineth need. Zinj probably could have used some new stuff. They're cool. I like those.
It's a little bit different to some in that it doesn't really have a catcher archetype. Instead, you've got.
Yeah, Osiak was such a big reveal, wasn't it? They're really going into the death side of things at the minute.
Very good skill to make sure that you don't get stuck with a turnover if a tackle goes weird and you both get knocked down.
If you're both lying down.
Oh, lying down, oh, my word. The claw is not just symbolic. They have the claw's special rule. And what that means is that they never need more than an 8+ to bust the armor when you're making the armor roll, having successfully hit somebody.
The designs,
really
you can tell it's modern
skilled positionals,
detailing and sculpture and
the Phoenix Warrior,
modern materials.
Thrower.
Hell of a glow up to the old High Elves Blood Bowl team.
fantastic stat line, really, really great at making sure the ball goes where you need it.
Somehow I think that they still keep the
also,
charm of Blood Bowl.
Which is so good. Essentially, Cloud Burst gives you a real advantage in that when you lob that ball, the enemy can't make intercept rolls against you. So imagine your Dragon Prince has burst through, he's far down the field.
Good looking unit.
Nice, clean lob shot all the way down the pitch.
And these will all be plastic.
Instead. It's great.
What I love about all of
I believe with the new Blood Bowl stuff, I think everything is going plastic, they said.
Old world units.
I might be wrong on that, though.
The White Lions, the Dragon Princes, they just look exactly like those, but in shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So lots of calves and thighs on display, but otherwise it is just pure Blood Bowl fun. Right, this is the 4th position. They're the High Elf linemen. In some ways, the linemen are the boring part of your Blood Bowl team, but High Elf linemen are really
They do look much more boring, don't they?
The bush. They've got great stat lines. They've got decent armor.
I'd love to try Blood Bowl,
but they're reliable. The only downside,
but it's one of those games that I just never
to recruit them
got into. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy American football.
It's definitely an elite finesse.
I don't really pay much attention to the season, but I always try and watch the Super Bowl.
Acting in the way it's supposed to.
And yeah, I should pay attention to my team a lot more than I do.
Themselves. The kit also contains.
I just never
it also contains
really
balls,
got Blood Bowl.
Reroll markers and everything that you would expect.
I guess I like to just go in there and murder my opponent a little bit more instead of trying to play a ball and murder my opponent.
Which is full of all of the stories and the lore behind it. And,
they do keep updating it, yeah. I mean, Blood Bowl apparently is the biggest
all that jazz as well.
Yeah, I think
or the most played game at tournament level for Games Workshop. And probably one of the biggest globally of all tabletop gaming. Blood Bowl has a huge fan base, and part of that is probably because it doesn't get so many changes all the time. It is quite a fluid edition.
It might be.
And the models don't change all the time. You buy your team, it's an easy entry point with just one team or a couple of teams if you want.
Your Blood Bowl section.
And it doesn't change that often, so it probably keeps people... And it's fun. Everything I've heard is fun.
He says, we have a little bit of an animation clip to show some people.
Animation, then Horus Heresy, then 40k, I guess. I thought there'd be more Blood Bowl, but I knew that High Elves would be coming, so...
40,000 animation on its way for
that's good.
Very soon. Here are
what I expected, nice looking models, but as a Blood Bowl thing, it just doesn't do it for me. Right, if this part of the stream disappears while it's staying up on the channel, if you want to rewatch it, or whoever's watching it live, whoever's watching it post, if a bit disappears and the animation stuff isn't there, it's because it's been copyright claimed. It might not, I don't know.
Has been bereft of the Emperor's light. Like so much of our benighted Imperium,
this is the Sisters thing, isn't it? Have we not seen this trailer?
Our mission is of
40k is definitely coming out so strong with 40k, everything else is struggling to catch up. I'd argue the Bone Reapers, Red Corsairs and Bone Reapers, both of them for me. In fact, I'm gonna mute this just in case. We should be alright with the visuals, but the music and stuff in the background, I don't want to risk it. Especially now the channel's monetized. Not that that's really done anything yet, but I'm figuring that out. So let's just talk about what we've seen. Red Corsairs, incredible. I loved everything that I saw. New models, new units, new characters, but also upgrade sprue. Very subtle, light upgrade sprue and transfers. Don't forget the transfers. But it really makes them look Red Corsairy. Oh, it's Orcs and Sisters. Cool. The Eldar... I call them Void Scarred, but they're not. The pirates, the elf pirates, space pirates, space elf pirates. They were good, but the Eldari design aesthetic is so ingrained to me to just look the same. I didn't think it was as good. Ossiarch Bone Reapers might even be my favourite reveal. Penitence, coming February. That was an exclusive extract. Yeah, Blood Bowl, it's going to work for a lot of people. It doesn't really work for me. Hopefully, High Elf fans that is a team that you want. We will have a little look at that when we look at the articles. We'll still talk about it. But also, yeah, Bone Reaper's incredible. The Tzeentch, new Chaos Lord, Sorcerer, looked really cool. A little sad that that's all that they're getting. And a little sad that Lumineth are only getting a character, but I guess they can't do everything. Not every one of their game systems is 40k, is it?
And I can confirm there is a squig in this animation.
You're more excited about the 40k stuff in this reveal.
Absolutely.
As an AOS fan, Zenny. Yeah, that makes sense.
So this is on its
I think
way
they came
in
out the
February.
gate
The first
so
episode
hard
will be a 3-part animation
with the Red
first one planned in
Corsairs.
February, so not very long to wait at all.
Fantastic. So
If they started with their AOS,
Warhammer TV, it's available through your Warhammer.
I think the AOS stuff would have landed
and it gives you access to loads of animations.
a little bit better.
Sort of shows that are made by the team.
Not that I don't think. I think it's landed well.
Sort of thing. So,
and
if
the
you
new
wanna
models
watch
are
this as it comes
stunning.
out, make sure you get yourself a subscription and join in. It's going to be great.
But there was just so
Nice
much
one.
information in that 40k
There
one.
were some
2 new
questions in the
sub-factions
bubble
is
section,
huge.
that, I got hold of late, and my favourite question was, Custodians when? Well, I'd like to tell you when. We're going to go to all the way back to the Age of
Custards
Darkness
now.
with this.
Right, so this is new plastic Custodians. Custodian Guard. This is obviously for 30k. Are you going to be able to use them in 40k? Ooh, plastic tanks. Nice. And the Venatari. Oh. You're expecting ogres in cities or dwarves? Yeah, I think that AOS, I don't think anybody thought Osiak Bone Reapers to that degree.
So excited by everything that we just saw there. We have the forces of the Legion.
This is all going to be plastic.
For the Horus Heresy.
Right.
Everything in that video we're going to talk about. Let's start with what you can see on the screen right now.
So this is a box, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah,
this is a brand new box.
This is the Legio Custodians.
Going to be an army box, then released
and
separately.
This is, coming out as part of the launch. Everything in this is a new plastic miniature. And
Right, okay.
it just looks incredible.
They look
You've got
great.
2 sodalities of Custodians. You've got a Dreadnought, a Shield Captain, and a Grav Tank. Let's talk about those in detail.
I mean, the
These are, of
faces
course,
and
a Custodian
things
Guard sodality, Eddie.
Look really good. The weapons, the detail, amazing.
Image of a custodian. They are towering guardians.
But they are
each one with a
still
guardian spear, able to
very
chop the enemy
reminiscent
up with
of the
combat
Custodians for
faster at
40k.
range. They are a
They
brand new
look
plastic
thinner
kit.
though.
A slight readjustment, I suppose, of the proportions of the Custodians, but still
Quite like
very
that.
recognisably the Custodians that you know and love, the Guardians of the Emperor, and still in the Horus Heresy at this point, successful.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't dropped the ball yet. The kit is, as I said, it was multi-part plastic. There's
Are
some options in
they?
there. You've got these.
I mean, surely you can
high-helm,
proxy these in
high-helm helmets
40k,
you can see
regardless
here.
of if they
There's
get
some
rules or
bare heads in
not.
The kits that you can build your models, whether they're willing to risk getting shot in the face or not. That's your choice. And
They
then,
definitely
there's
look
options
better
for the
proportioned
in there, so you can carry
than the 40k stuff
standard
and how I remember it.
rule
Yeah,
on
you've
the
also got
battlefield.
all the Misericordia, as you'd hope as
Yeah,
well. All
absolutely.
kind of stabbing daggers that the Custodians have.
They're just dripping in all the paraphernalia and apparel that you'd expect from the Emperor's most elite warriors. Here you can see some of the different heads that are available to the.
There's no
the kit.
beards.
So you can do a mixture or all of one style, whatever it is that suits you really. You've already said it, but for me, this is the.
Let's address it.
Image of the Legio Custodians, right? These like serried ranks of.
It's going to be weird when they update Custodians in 40k and it's basically the same thing.
I love
Yeah,
it. Not the
100%.
only sodality in the Custodian box set, though. You also have the Sentinel Guard.
I think
who are essentially the same.
The problem with
kind of
Custodians
unit.
is
These are
because they
Custodian
are
shields and,
dual
Custodian
game
shields.
system,
So another
they're
effective
really
battle
going to
line,
struggle to
Custodians,
differentiate
normal
between
Custodians, as it
these
were, can be
and the
used to ride
40k ones.
Custodian. These ones are a little bit more
Let's
defensive
just
and a little
address
bit less
the
killed,
elephant in the
but
room,
every
and I
Custodian
am
is
for it.
fast and
I don't
and
hang
very,
on
very
to the
durable.
30k
These
law,
ones have
40k
shields,
law.
which in your games of
Yes,
Heresy can allow them
there
to
are
shield wars,
female
to make them a bit more
Custodians
durable
in
against
this.
incoming fire, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
and they're
body-wise,
better 'cause they're
armor-wise,
they're
it is
just great. And so essentially
just
it's making
a
that
suit
choice
of
between
armor.
these two units.
If you don't want any
Yeah,
females
and
in your
you probably
Custodians,
improve
or you
some of
want
the
all
other
females in your, I don't know. I don't know how many heads you're going to get. It looks like there's enough helmets and heads to build them how you want to do your hobby.
I am unapologetic in that this is my favourite of the models in this.
Relatively unchanged as a faction
I
too.
genuinely think this is incredible.
maybe.
The level of detail that they have captured on it is so good.
There is going to be backlash. People are going to kick off.
I really like that golden laurel wreath that has been sort of woven into her hair.
Custodians now are...
If you don't know about Custodian Shield Captains, these are essentially a top-tier fighter.
This is just how it is.
They can go up against anything up to and probably...
You got to live with it, I'm afraid. That shield and that sword is stunning.
Not a pushover, and even if you are, be careful.
Yeah, a shield captain backed up by a squad of custodians can happily take on a Primarch.
Actually, that model is stunning.
And up against anything that's a space marine.
Detail on that.
A very impressive sword of some sort. You're definitely going to come out on the wrong side of that fight. The miniature is absolutely
so good.
Dripping in detail. I think one of the things you can just see in that rotating image there is the text on the
beautiful shield captain.
So one of the concepts of custodians generally is that they write their honor name inside their armor, and the idea here being that the titles that this warrior has achieved throughout their career has been so extensive that the achievements have gone beyond their armor.
This is what they can do with Custodians. What can they do with Grey Knights when they get their revamp?
Talking about this is one of the models of the year this time next year.
Grey Knights,
more inside this battle group than we've shown.
They need that love.
So first of all, you have the Custodian Dreadnoughts.
And I'm here for it. With modern design, I bet you could do amazing psychic-y things with them as well, and cool poses, and yeah.
He is equipped with an Achilles War Spear, which is like...
These dreadnoughts are pretty epic.
A giant guardian spear, basically, isn't it? If you get put inside a dreadnought and you've been a custodian, you're like, I really like stabbing people with a spear. Can I continue to do that?
That's plastic. These are really well painted as well.
Phenomenally dangerous.
Really well painted.
Big damage.
Considering it's different shades of gold, really well painted.
For me, this is my favourite of the two, and we'll show you the other one in a second. But look at the pose that you've got on it. This kit is really poseable. They've made the most of the sort of multi-part plastic functionality that this kit enables to give you something really special.
Yeah, I guess the arms will be poseable as well.
All of the Contemptor Dreadnoughts, but particularly the Custodian ones, have been available in resin before, obviously, and they've always been kind of highly poseable. None of that posability has been lost in the transition to plastic, and actually it's now an even easier material to work with, and you've got more options and ways of building, so you can include
Heresy players, is this what you wanted to see for the Custodians?
And every single one of them could look completely unique and different in terms of posing.
I think
Let's look at the
someone who isn't looking at Heresy, that looks good. I like the sword. It's not quite as
absolutely awesome. There's something about a
quite as dynamic, I don't think.
That just absolutely works for me. And it mirrors the two different core unit types within the Custodians.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to go up against one of those, would you?
One with the shield and the sword, the more defensive.
Yeah, is this what you wanted from plastic Custodians? From a design aesthetic, I think that they've knocked out of the park with everything that we've seen here. The grav tanks, the dreadnoughts, the troops, the Venatari looked pretty good. It looked like they were moving to a kit of 5 instead of 3 as well. But they had some beautiful pieces. Their resin kit was very nice kit.
Just bear in mind that the
some amazing accessories and build options.
Fighting elite of the Imperium, handpicked.
It's good.
Created by the Emperor.
I know Heresy is a specialist game now.
Really, really dangerous on the tabletop.
It always has been a specialist game.
They're phenomenally.
But I feel like moving it to plastic makes it so much more accessible.
Whole phalanxes of enemy space marines and chop them to bits.
Yeah,
very satisfying. They look great though.
The final thing that's inside that Custodian battle group box is this. This is the Caladius Annihilator grav tank.
That looks so cool. They're grav tanks, and I believe you'll be able to use these in 40k because you currently can. There's no reason why they should take them away, unless it's a Legends sheet. I don't know.
Which is the sort of
I've just.
You see on top.
So this is how you do a grav tank.
With 2 fire modes. The first
this is very 40k impulsor Space Marine grav stuff. But on these, it actually looks really good and it works well.
Fire mode is multi-shot and is great at gunning down heavier infantry.
It's a beautiful looking tank that looks really well painted as well.
Made a really good point of was. Stuff in the Legio Custodes force needs to often do 2 things.
Yeah, because you're almost always outnumbered, both in terms of how big your units are, but also in terms of how many units you have on the battlefield.
How does a Custodi fit inside it?
That's very good at killing tanks.
That would be my question.
Need to do some double duty to
Fallout vibes, yes, with the nuclear cars. Yeah, 100%.
Units, whichever thing is currently giving you challenges. So
it's the coils and things at the back, isn't it? Yeah, such a cool design.
Yeah, absolutely so. Those are the units that make up the Custodian Guard battle.
It's a solid-looking battle box.
Shown at the start. There are more.
So I don't know how much the battle boxes are.
That'll be the first thing you can buy. That'll
Absolutely.
be if you want to go all in for a new custodian army, that'll be the first thing. But your reinforcements are hot on their heels.
Exactly so. So next is the Caladius Grav Tank. It is very similar to the Caladius Annihilator Grav Tank. It's just not an Annihilator. Instead, it has an Iliastus accelerator cannon on its roof. Think Sikaran battle tank from the Space Marine Legions, if you know the setting and you know the war gear. It's similar, but upgunned version of that kind of weapon. So
it looks the same to my eye, in all honesty.
Medium and light vehicles,
but it looks cool. Looks really cool.
Infantry you put in front of it. This is a big, heavy-duty tank.
Yeah, it's another great option for a line battle tank. You won't get many.
It's bigger. It's definitely chunkier.
Everything costs so many points. But
man, these tanks!
In a 3,000 point force.
Stick them in 40k. Double your sales.
Of the Grav tanks, we have the biggest of all of them, which is the Coronis Grav Carrier. This thing is enormous.
That's cool.
We've got one on the desk in front of us. We'll show you in a minute. But essentially, this is big enough that it can carry an entire sodality of Custodian Guard and an accompanying hero.
Yeah, you get a kind of a sense of how big it is there because you can see the Custodian.
No Land Raiders? They're getting that instead, do we think?
This is a big old tank.
Is this plastic? Yes? Must be plastic still.
Unarmed as well. You can see the guns on it. But the one to talk about maybe is the Neutronium Cascade Projector.
Sounds
I
good.
adore
we'll tell you more about that another time, but
tank.
It's a powerful gun in its own
I
right.
am going to get one, and I am going to Space Wolf it up.
Elite fighting units in the galaxy onto the tabletop. It's also hosing you with devastating firepower.
And all of these are plastic as well. This is a huge plastic kit.
Wow.
Additionally, you might have seen in the video that we saw before, you have the Venatari Sodality. So these are elite hunter-killer strike troops within.
I love their guns. Bolt pistols, revolvers, whatever they are. I love them.
On contrails of fire, diving deep into the heart of the enemy.
Yes, this is your
maybe
kind of
it is still squads of 3s or a box of 6 or what, but you get cool spears, you get cool pistols.
Buckler and pistol.
The jump packs are stunning. I mean, that's how you do jump packs with metal wings.
Grenades from a bygone era.
How many Blood Angels players do you think will be trying to get hold of those jump packs?
Some dangerous guys.
And okay, they're jumping off terrain.
Which is the sort of handgun-looking thing you can see.
I think they look pretty good.
Hand cannon, basically. The Tarsus Buckler reduces the strength of incoming enemy fire. Or if you equip them with the Veritum Lance.
Custodians have got a hell of a glow up.
Really great on the charge.
Third edition is being pretty nice to them for models.
Your Custodians weren't scary enough. Now they're faster than everyone as well, and there's no escape.
You can see here the front.
And melter bombs.
Cascade mine. So
mine, Cascade mine.
The heart of the enemy. All of this stuff and where you find it exists in the Custodes Liber, which we'll show you here. There you go. It's a big book. Yeah. It's hardback. It's lovely. It's full of all the lore and the stories and information that you need to learn about Legio Custodes. Oh, I nearly adeptus them. And in addition to that, it talks about other elements of the Imperial household. So.
Yep, so you've got the Anathema Psychana, the Sisters of
Don't get me wrong, I thought the Mark II armour was pretty stunning, the Mark III breaches. Was it Mark III breaches?
The Emperor kept to himself on Terra as his
look stunning, the new Space Marine kits. Outside of the Saturnine stuff, which I'm still on the fence on.
We've got the models in front of us.
Beautiful.
A little bit of show and tell.
I think Custodes is the best looking, although the Admech is looking really nice. The new Skitari are beautiful.
Context and scale.
But these are looking amazing. And they are huge, rightly so.
Don't break it.
Tell me about it. So the Custodian Guard are big, right? These are the pinnacle of the gene crafting that the Emperor.
So a Space Marine is probably up to the shoulder pad, right? The top of the shoulder pad.
Is the Primarchs.
Somewhere on that shoulder pad.
And half of them went back.
They are big.
Maybe they're the best they got.
Rightly so.
You can see the scale of the other things. So you put the little guy up alongside the.
I love that tank.
It's just enormous. This thing is huge. If I spin it round. You can see the entrance hatch.
It's like bigger than your hand, Adam. It's a big old thing.
So it's got this really cool entrance hatch. I was looking.
That looks amazing. The profile of these tanks is exactly the kind of sci-fi profile that I love.
To like have it open or make a diorama or whatever it is.
Wow.
So I think people are going to have a lot of fun with this, and
just the size of the thing.
It's really cool, isn't it? What else
it wobbles quite a lot on that base.
The dreadnoughts. If you look at the sort of the chest armor on them, if I tilt them,
yeah. So there's a few different options on there. Actually, I was looking at the kits before. You've got options for things like the shoulder pads. So if you've got multiple dreadnoughts, you can have slightly different shoulder pads. There's some nice little areas for heraldry. So these ones have got some heraldic devices designed onto them. There's
Nice.
some different faces, I think, in the kit. You've got some different chests. You've obviously got the different weapons. So you've got loads of ways of making these really different. There's loads of detail on them. So, but a lot of it's kind of sculpted on. So you could paint them very quickly if you wanted to. If you wanted, spray them gold, put a wash on them. They look pretty great.
You're almost ready for war.
Yeah,
at
they're
that
kind of
point,
ready.
aren't you? Yeah,
but also, if you wanted to spend hours and hours and hours and make these,
Yeah, I
the
think
best model you've ever painted, they are fine.
it looks like the detail of them, you could go as detailed or as simplistic as you want, and they would still look solid.
About a lot of these miniatures is they will obviously have some dual purpose in Warhammer 40,000 as well.
Absolutely.
So if you have
Great.
Adeptus Custodes army, things like the Dreadnoughts obviously are already a data sheet in your force. You already have data sheets for things like Custodians with Guardian Spears and with shields.
Yeah, solid.
Shield
And I
captains
thought
as
they
well,
were
so
moving
lots of
away
these,
from
if
that.
You wanted to put them into your Warhammer 40,000.
You kind of have to with some things.
Yeah, perfect.
But good, at least they've confirmed you can use them for 40k as well. So 40k Custodes. Still don't need to do Heresy. We might do 40k Custodes. I don't know how you do a Custodes army for 40k.
Super heavy tank. You were really excited about this
I
one.
think this is my favourite. This is my favourite super heavy.
Wow.
I think it's mostly because I just love Volkite. There's something about
is a
it.
cool
It's just
looking gun, isn't
like
it?
intrinsically heresy.
The
For me.
housing
And this is
of
the
that
largest
cannon
plastic Volkite
is
gun we have ever
superb.
seen.
That turret
Not
design
counting
is
things like,
incredible.
stuff on Titans that we might have seen in Epic
Yeah,
Scale.
in
in the
Timmy
back.
It's not a grab tank.
But it is an absolutely enormous tank. It is
Wow.
The Fellblade is the same chassis, but this has, I think,
It is, so it's Fellblade body with a different turret, by the sounds of
I
it.
can't deny the coolness of this. The panning shots that you're getting right now really just show
They
how
look
cool and
stunning.
detailed this model is, right? The
Again,
camera is
another
so close to the
solid
model,
paint job.
and it just looks just crisp and brilliant and exciting.
This one, of course, painted in Iron Warriors colours.
Yes, well,
it also looks equally good.
The Heresy stuff.
Yeah, I would think so. Better maybe.
The models have had a real good glow
It is a
up since
Volkite
it's moved to
cannon, if you're
plastic,
wondering.
which is
It's just
great.
an enormous gun that will deflagrate your enemy should you so
Great
desire.
words, great special rule.
It's not the only Astartes tank available. There is also the return of a stalwart of the Legiones Astartes, and indeed the Space Marines of the 41st Millennium as well, with the Whirlwind missile tank.
I quite like it.
Something just
I love a
about
whirlwind,
the whirlwind.
and you can use them in
It's just a
40k.
Scale
Yeah,
and
it's just
magnitude
nice,
here,
it's
isn't
just
it?
It's got,
It looks
very
a bit
useful
squat,
artillery piece. There's
though.
lots of useful, very cool stuff.
Maybe that's just the Rhino
this
chassis.
is a long-range artillery support piece that can reach enemy units where most of your.
I like it. It's nice to see it back in
Lots of
plastic.
The different missiles you can give it have morale sapping effects, basically.
Yeah,
so
so
it's a debuffing
If you put
piece
so
of
it
artillery.
comes with explosive standard, you upgrade those missiles to Pyrax if you want. At which point you can literally just drive people off of objectives by causing panic. Fantastic for shifting hard to move. You know, when normally you're
Brilliant.
trying to kill dozens and
Variety in rules and armament and things, and making you choose
They
between
make a
stuff.
walk-off.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
make
kind
it
of thing we need in
We were talking
40k.
before, this is obviously painted up in the colours of the Imperial Fists. We thought it was quite amusing that it's done as a Templar, because they're obviously the keenest usually to get into close combat.
You can imagine how that went. It's like, my Lord Dawn, I'm now a Templar brother, and I'm itching to serve. And he's like, sit in this at the back, please.
Oh, maybe a punishment, perhaps.
Maybe he just likes Sigismund.
Looks good though. It's a good looking tank. Despite
It
the
is
colour,
fantastic.
it's a good looking
We're very
tank.
excited for it. Where will you find all the information you need for these? Well, thankfully there is a new
The next Journal Tactica, Journal Tactica number 4. The third one goes up for pre-order tomorrow.
Super heavy tanks. Lots of
Mailed fist.
charts and information
Legiones
on
Astartes
how they
super
feel,
heavy
the
tanks.
operations that they fulfilled, that sort of thing, as well as
We're
some
focusing
rules,
in on the
including
super heavy
rules for the
stuff.
returning,
Interesting, cool. I'm going to try and pick up the Journal Tacticas, and we'll review them on the channel as and when. Even if I'm dead Ultramarines.
Ultramarine fans,
We
fear
are
not, we've got you.
contractually obligated to include at least
I
one
hope they
Ultramarine
did that
in every
specifically
single
because of those
speak in
stupid
there,
protest
about to be
videos.
crushed under the uncompromising
Amazing.
wheels of
Amazing.
Iron Warriors.
If he's not dead yet, he will be soon. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to try and. Well, I
that
don't
was
play
great.
and don't plan
Loads of
on
stuff for
playing
Horus Heresy. I'm gonna
Horus
quickly
Heresy.
dive into the
We're going
questions and see,
to talk about the Journal
where we
Tacticas, and
are.
hopefully I'm going to be able to pick them up and review them.
Right.
And
so
models and things
we've
down the
got,
line,
will the
as soon as I'm
Custodians
able
playable
to,
in Warhammer 40,000? That's
we'll
from
talk
what
about
Brother
stuff
said,
like that
which
as
is
well,
covered
because
in
this stuff is looking
Lots of
really
the models
nice.
will be- and it's really worth saying again.
Even if I'm using it in
it's got a
40k, which
analysis
is probably
using
heresy in
Warhammer 40,000,
itself.
By all means, use it. If
But
that's
this
great.
is all looking good.
Will we ever see more Sisters of Silence? And the answer to that is, They have rules, and all of their lore and stuff is contained within that Liber Custodes, so you can continue to field them. I hope one day we'll get more cool models for them as well.
There's no new System of Silence in this particular wave of releases.
But they are very much catered for.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason that we wouldn't in the future, and they absolutely feature in the rules in this expansion.
Good.
And the question is, can you tell us how many heads there were? I probably could have done, but I've forgotten because it's been quite a long preview. I think
how many heads?
How many bear heads? I think you get enough to do all of the models helmeted.
I think you do, yeah.
Heads.
So if you want an entire squad in helmets, you can do it that way. If you want an entire squad in bear heads, you can do it that way as well, I think.
Perfect. But
depends on the split of bear heads, I guess.
Right now, because I might be wrong.
I got a question.
But that's good. I mean, helmets, they go into war. They should be in full armor, right?
So unit was able to join, Huron's bodyguard was able to join another unit. I said it wasn't. It is, in fact, able to join another unit. So.
Perfect.
Yeah, Huron's squad will be able to join one of the Red Corsairs units. That should be given. Titus, look at Titus's rules. There's an idea for how Huron's going to operate, I think.
Is in plastic. So I don't know which tank you meant, but the answer is yes. The Coronis grav carrier, both the tanks, the super heavy.
That giant grav carrier thing is a masterpiece.
Grav carrier next to
the scale of the thing is quite fun, isn't it? So try not to scrape the metalwork against each other. So I'm going to put them so they're sort of end to end. You can get a sense of how big they are if we get the camera on those. It is very nearly super heavy size.
It's really not far off.
Wow.
It's certainly not quite as bulky, perhaps.
I think they might travel in more.
It reminds me of Dune.
Yes, they have a bit more space inside there.
Certainly the Villeneuve, the recent ones, that style.
Right, there we go. We are not quite done yet. We did promise you that we would return to the grim darkness of the far future, and here we are with a little teaser.
Vash? No, Vashtor? Iron Warriors. That's it, isn't it? The reign of iron approaches.
Well, that was a tease, wasn't it?
That could mean almost anything.
It could. All we know is that the reign of
more
iron
Space
approaches,
Marines.
And some of you may have been able to form your own opinions on things that maybe were being hinted at with hazard stripes and sort of burnished silver armor, who knows? If you want to have a look at those images again, hop over to warhammercommunity.com.
We will take a look.
If it's not already there, it'll be very soon, and you can maybe glean a few more bits of information. That brings us to the end of our preview. If you've enjoyed this and you want more Warhammer...
All right, chat, preview.
Over in the US,
what do we think?
Palm Springs right now, there is a Warhammer Open event taking place where there's...
Give it a rating, 1 to 10. How good has it been overall?
We're going to throw back
and what was your favourite
faction
that had stuff shown off? Let's put it that way.
Jump on board and have a look at what's going on there, by all means.
It was good?
Really
good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I think the reveals were pretty solid.
A team of people who've operated all the
some ups, some downs, but fairly well balanced. Quite a lot shown off, in all honesty.
Right, Adam, I didn't have plans tonight otherwise, so it's been fun.
And yeah, pretty good, pretty solid.
As excited about Warhammer as we are and joining in on this preview. It has been a delight. We'll be back in a couple of months with the next preview, I think.
Solid. Yeah, I think.
Very excited about that. So until then, thank you all so much for joining us.
They just confirm another preview show in March.
We'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
At Adepticon. Hopefully, because they cancelled the last one, didn't they? Right. Let's pause that. Okay, so we're going to jump over to WarCom. Like this. Yeah, quite a few things to talk about. Okay, so I'm not going to... Yeah, no technical difficulties. Fingers crossed. When they do it live, it isn't quite... Oh, they're showing off orcs. Interesting. Right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to touch on a few things here, and then I'll do more of a deep dive. Because we've been going for an hour and a half. It's Friday evening. You guys probably have much better things to do than listen to me waffle on about models. So we'll touch on the 40k stuff, we'll touch on AOS stuff, we'll just have a quick skim. And over the weekend, tomorrow, and we'll touch on the 30k stuff as well. We'll do Iron Warriors, the Eye of Terror. So that's the book after the Maelstrom, is the Eye of Terror. Cool. We'll touch on that last. But I will do more detail as separate videos over the course of the weekend. I'm just aware that if I don't stop, I will lose my voice. So confirmed, Huron Blackheart and the Masters of the Maelstrom. Yeah, I'm not going to say perfect, but as a diverse, characterful unit, I think that this is done really well. The Sorcerer is solid. Huron is solid. The Head Taker guy is probably the least interesting, but it works. I love the Dog Soldier and the dog, and then the dog. I wish we had a unit of these. Maybe that's going to be a kill team thing. This thing is amazing, and I hope that you can play around with them more and get some really cool models down the line. I do like the Surgeon. I think the Captain, again, the Titus box. Titus was the weakest part of his box. I don't think Huron is the weakest part of this box. I do think that that's the Head Taker, but I think that they're solid. But again, the most interesting parts, and I think the nicest models in this box is the Mortals and the Aliens, not the Space Marines, although these Space Marines are stunning. It looks like what we're going to be getting based off what we've seen here, and then the 500 Worlds release. We're going to be getting a book with 4 books inside it, going over all kinds of things. Fingers crossed the detachments and the rules will all be available online and in the app, and easily accessible if you don't want to buy the books. Because the books are mostly lore, and it looks like campaign and boarding actions from what we've seen of 500 Worlds. So I'm taking that as what these are going to be structured as. But unit-wise, we're going to get a battalion or a couple of battalion new combat patrols, basically, that are going to be super limited release FOMO boxes that just throw together certain elements of an army. If you want one, good luck. But you're going to get some elements of characters as well. So we got Titus and the Ones of Ultramar. Ultramarines got huge releases November, December last year, so I'm not surprised they didn't get anything extra. You also got the Necrosaur and the Nightbringer. Necrons have had some stuff, the kill team stuff recently, and then a whole terrain box. They got a battalion box, but not really anything super new. But here, we've got Huron in a very Titus-esque box with his command squad, and they look amazing. Excuse the sirens, I can't do much about them. But these as characterful models, I think are stunning. And they have that piratey vibe. This is really selling me on Red Corsairs. And then we have the army box. So this army box is Red Corsair Raiders. Does it actually tell us what we get? So it's a mix of new and existing miniatures, headlined by the Red Corsair Raiders and the Reeve Captain. Reeve Captain Raiders. It looks like we get 5 Raiders. Maybe 10 Raiders. Because that's a 10, that's a 10. 5 Terminators. So the Terminators is the old Terminator kit, which still holds up with an upgrade sprue. The Cultists are the same Cultists painted differently, but they look amazing. With a fresh coat of paint, they look incredible. So this will tell us. The Raiders are looking pretty good. There's little different Xenos-y stuff on them as well. I did see a Spirit Stone. But you've got a Drukhari, an Aldari knife, a little bit of Aldari stuff there. I love these pouches. Very Space Wolf Wolf Scouts with the pouches and things, and it makes sense. Pirates to just have stuff on them as they're moving around. You know, they keep their equipment with them, and so many cool little nods to previous armor styles. Are we moving back to traditional patterns of armor and moving away from the Phobos, not the Phobos, the Primaris style armor, even for Loyalist Space Marines. Chaos has always had their own individual thing. But these models, I would say, you could also use as Loyalist and just have them as a cool sort of fringe Loyalist faction, and would work really cool. I hope they produce enough of these. You can guarantee that they won't, but all of this stuff will be released separately at some point, which is good. I love this model. He's even got an empty holster. He's got a sight, so he can put a sight on his pistol. They all have chainswords. They look like they are a close-ish range unit. We have a couple of chaosy bits there. That's definitely Eldari. Hands and things, they might be optional. But you've got the classic style helmets, very much like the Space Wolves, where they had a mix of old armors mixed into their tactical units. This is just, the mix of armor is amazing. You've got your melter, as well, so they do have specialist weapons, which is cool. Makes sense for the pirates. The heads are looking cool. Chain axe there, bolt pistol, very close range unit. I love that beaky, that pose, the classic bolter style. These are looking cool. I think I love everything about these. And it's because it's that older style armor, it isn't the Mark 10. Mark 10 is just very boring. This stuff, while you can see there's a couple of repeated elements of iconography and stuff. Yeah, so that is a repeated body, but yeah, so that is a repeated body. So it looks like there's build options, subtle differences that you'll be able to build them as and pose them as, different weapon options. On the whole, it's a squad of 5 that you'll be able to run as. I mean, that pistol looks amazing. They look incredible. I'm not sure about the heads. I hope you get enough helmets to cover that up. The Reeve Captain, we have a couple of different options there. Solid helmet, different couple of weapon options. Beautiful looking cloak. Beautiful looking rapier style power sword, eye patch. They have nailed the pirate vibe. It is a little bit subtle, which isn't something that Warhammer does that often. But definitely this is pretty good. So this is lore. We know what's coming in Huron's box. This is just looking at them painted differently with the upgrade sprue. The Terminators look incredible. For older models, they look great. Cultists look good. That is... I don't think it is the Blooded box, but it might be the Blooded box from Kill Team. No, I think it is. If it is the Blooded box, and it actually looks like it might be, it's an incredible militia kit. And it fits perfectly with this stuff. Really, really cool. Just the paint scheme is great. Different hand options, weapon options, gloves on some of them. But a lot of this is going to look familiar. Obviously, the older Legionary kit is going to be able to mix and match with these Raiders as well, if you want to, and if the weapon options are there. So that's really cool. The upgrade sprue, I think, is a little lackluster. The transfers look stunning, and you get 248 of them on each strip, so quite a lot of transfers there. The heads, they're not the most exciting thing, but any Space Marine head, certainly the 40k heads, but any Space Marine head will work with these, I'm sure. Shoulder pads. I like that they are engraved shoulder pads. They look good. They have that older style to them, which is fantastic. And these little options and things, and then the chainswords as well. all of this stuff looks like it is going to be compatible with the Primaris size kits as well. So any upgrade sprues for the chapters, if you want to use bits and arms and things, you could, like, say, just as a wild kit bash idea, say this guy killed a Vitrix Honor Guard, you could swap that sword out for a Vitrix sword or a Vitrix axe, or you could use Space Wolf axes. The Space Wolf box, the troops, the Blood Claws, will work really well with these, with that similar style of close range bolt pistols and stuff. Just if you wanted to mix and match and add some extra individuality to this, just thinking out loud, because you know I love a kit bash. I really like that guy the more I see him. That pose is pretty cool. The sword looks really nice. What I want is a breakdown of what's in it. So in the kit, you get 10 Red Corsair Raiders. You also get 10 Classic Space Marine Legionaries, which is a good kit. 5 Terminators, 10 Traitor Guard. So that is 35 models, plus the Reeve Captain. This is the first place that you will get the Reeve Captain and the Raiders, and then a couple of months down the line, the upgrades and the upgrade sprue. The upgrade sprue and the units will be released separately. Huron and his command squad is going to be released at the same time as this, but they're separate. So if you just wanted Huron and the command squad to start with, can ignore this box. But pretty solid, looking really good. This was almost the highlight for me. It's probably tied, but very solid. As I say, we will take a deeper look at this stuff later. I'm going to skip the Maelstrom stuff because that will all be in a video as well. Quick look at Prince Uriel and the Eldari Corsairs. So this is an army box. He doesn't have a command squad. He is just a model in there. Uriel looking pretty good. Both helmeted and unhelmed. Solid. Banners are good. Nice pose. I don't think he's the best looking model in this, but some really nice accessories and things. The Sky Reavers, I think, are new. Looking at them, we might be back to that naff trope of jump pack troops falling onto scenery again. Because some of these poses are, I mean, they work in terms of the pose, but how they connect to the terrain. I feel like flight stands would be better for these. And I just feel like, as nice as they are, and don't get me wrong, they are nice. I like the color scheme. I like how they look. The weapons look cool. They just look Eldari to me. But I don't think that's a bad thing. And then we have the Fly Guy. Very weird helmet. But on the whole, looks great. Great detail. Nice pose. I really like the flowing cape and robes. Robes, not skirt. Really cool. Very, very nice. The Viper and Starfang. I am not sold on the Viper, as I've said. I love the design. If this was connected and it didn't spin, I get why it spins. I don't think it is a 360 turret, and I'm not sure how you can build it, but they did say it moved, so it does have that sleek Viper-esque, Battlestar Viper style, which I adore. It's such a nice starfighter. I think I prefer that, and all they've done is that turret turns around, basically. So that turret just locks in the back. It is rear-facing like a snowspeeder, but I prefer that design. It looks nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being negative. I think it is a very pretty looking scout flyer or anti-infantry flyer, whatever they want it to be. but it's also looks very similar to all of the other really nice looking Eldari stuff. But it doesn't jump out to me quite like the Red Corsairs do. And then we have the Void Scarred. So there's again transfer sheet, 2 Eldari transfer sheets, 378 transfers on each. So in this box, it looks like you get Uriel, you get 10 of the new Sky Reavers. You get one of the new, they said it was units of 2, but you get one of the new flyers, you get Fly Guy, and you get a box of the 10 Void Scarred. So not as many troops, 20 some, 23, 24 models in there. It'll be the same price, unfortunately. Only place to get the new Uriel, only place to get Fly Guy and the Sky Reavers. And probably, for a while, the only place to get one of these, which you can build both ways. But they did say it will be released as a Viper that will multi-build or dual kit into a Starfang. And that will all be released down the line. I expect these to be released on their own pretty quickly if they haven't already in 40k branding. I hope that they don't lock these behind an army box because it is a 3 or 4 year old kit. It's a nice kit, don't get me wrong, but it just seems a bit stupid that you wouldn't release that on its own and then the army box. But it's a FOMO box, and we know what Games Workshop are like with FOMO boxes. So we'll go through those 2 properly and that article tomorrow. That'll be one video. AOS stuff. Let's just quickly touch on the incredible Ossiarch Bone Reapers stuff. This is one of the highlights for me, if not the highlight. The chariot's good, don't get me wrong. I like the chariot. I like the weapon options. He's got a bow as well. Some cool options there. The Liege Mortec looking pretty good. Yeah, I like this style of armor and how they're kitted out. It's just an aesthetic that I enjoy. Cloak is good. Cloak is pretty good. It comes with an axe and a spear. Gets an axe. That axe is cool. And a couple of different heads. Really nice head options. I like that one. Yeah, I really like that one. The Triaxes, I'm a sucker for an archer unit. I'm a sucker for a skeleton unit. Jason the Argonauts has a lot to answer for with this. I am still not entirely sold, but it does look better than the grayscale picture that we got of those face things. But on the whole, solid looking archer unit. This one in particular is very similar to one that we've seen. Makes sense that we get an archer unit for them. There's precedence for it. A good variety of poses. Interesting unit. I hope that their rules are good but not broken, because shooting is quite strong in AOS. Nothing to dislike here. Really, really good. The one-eye thing is really interesting, isn't it? I think it's a clever design that makes them unique. And they are not really armoured, are they? They have bows and then they have knives. The Bone Bird's cool. The Bone Bird is... Where is the Bone Bird? Yeah, the Bone Bird is really cool. With a little scroll as well. Sending out messages to the battlefield. This is a unit that I like. I think these might have been the star of the show, the Mortis Reapers. And again, we'll go over the article, so we'll get more of an idea of rules and things tomorrow. Hopefully, well, I'll do AOS and 40k tomorrow, definitely. The other 2 might be Sunday. It depends how my voice holds up. But these are just such a cool assassin-y vibe. The smoke grenades is an interesting choice, but Sigmar does have stuff like that, so it sort of makes sense. I love the tattered, torn ponchos, cloak things, whatever we're going with. But they look like they are fast and deadly. And I like how these are more bone-coloured, but the stealthier ones are quite dark and look like they blend into the shadows. I think they're a really nice looking kit, and I like the options. The weapons look amazing. And then we're getting their battle tome. They are getting a Battle Force box with nothing new by the looks of it. But this could be a good way of starting a Ossiarch Bone Reaper's army. Their new Spearhead is quite interesting as well. This is, I believe, one of the last Warcry units, and then some extra stuff. It looks quite fast, hard-hitting, obviously cavalry focused. It's going to be interesting to play. And again, we'll go over that. We also have Regiment of Renown, the Heralds of the Bone Tithe, which has some interesting choices of models. But lots to talk about there. But as a whole, I mean, this Reebok stuff, fine. No problem with it. But these new models, I think, are stunning. You wish the Underworld's units will make it into the mainline AOS. Do they not have AOS rules for the Underworld's? They don't, do they? No, I'm with you. I would love to see some of the Underworld stuff. I mean, you can proxy them and kit bash them into squads and things if you wanted. But I think that there's so many people who play Underworlds that you could probably get them into AOS, or at least Spearhead, if you bundled that stuff in. Seems like an odd choice not to. Maybe we'll get it down the line. But on the whole, I think Red Corsairs and Ossiarch Bone Reapers both blew me away. Incredible reveals. I love everything about all of those stuff. The Fate Master, I love this sleek, almost modern. It's a little bit Skyrim kind of design, isn't it? It's very D&D-esque. I like the peacock. Hose is solid. Does he have any variants? No, he doesn't. It looks like he's just a fixed pose, fixed loadout. But just a nice, slimmed down model with some really cool details, but you could quite easily make them a Chaos Sorcerer for any Chaos army, which would be cool. The Argent Shards are amazing pieces of scenery, very D&D-esque, and the paint style and the colours kind of leans into that as well. But this is their, it was, what's the term? Manifestations. So this is going to be their new manifestations, and they look pretty cool. And it sounds like if you don't deal with them as a pair, they're going to be a nuisance. I'm all for it. Rules like that, fun stuff like that, really, really cool. And their Battle Tome, love the artwork. I think that's really cool. I don't know if that is a character or a model. I would like to see that model. That's cool. They're also getting a Warp Flame Cavalcade, which is lots of demons. Nice to see demons getting some love. Sadly, no new ones, but some fun-looking models in there. And pink horrors and blue horrors. Yeah. The Zangor Warflock. This is the Spearhead Zangor selection. Yeah, if you want to go Demon Goats, hey, why not? Who's going to be my centerpiece for Dark Oath? At the minute, it is purely just Dark Oath, so probably going to be Gunnerbrand and his unit. I don't have any Chaos Warriors or anything else in there. It is just tribes. I have a kit-bashed a Dark Oath Chieftain on Warhorse. I've got a couple of Warhorses, actually. And, but it's very much just tribes. There's going to be an army list that is with Gunnerbrand, because I love that character. But for most of the part, it is going to be my custom hero. I've got a mounted and a on foot versions already kit bashed. I'm also in the process of kit bashing that character as an Exalted Chaos Champion to evolve into the Slaves to Darkness heavier armored Chaos stuff. So I'm hoping when we get there to tell a bit of a narrative with that character. But yeah, he's like, instead of a War Queen, it'll be War Queen rules, but he's a War King. And that's my idea. I'm very much looking forward to showing him off. I have a couple of pictures somewhere. He's not painted yet. He's primary, he's not painted, but I had so much fun kit bashing him, and I can't wait to share. I've been really bad at painting recently. Like for the last 12 months, I've hardly painted anything. So lots to do. But yeah, I'm loving the tribes thing, and it's very much like a Conan-esque tribe style idea, and it's all based on the Gunnar Brand book idea, where it can just be Dark Oath tribes, and then you can ally in other stuff if you want as well. So down the line it'll evolve, but it's very narrative at the minute. Yeah, looking forward to doing more with it and showing it off, because definitely Sigmar is something that I really do want to get into. Certainly Spearhead is so cool. Now we'll just finish off with Tzeentch. Regiments of Renown, you've got some... Oh, that's the guy on the cover. 2 sorcerers and some demon fish things, whatever they are. They do have a name, I can't remember it. I like that model. He looks a little bit more undead than I thought he would. Interesting. Not seen that model before. And then the Lumineth Realm mods are just getting a Venari Lord Regent. A couple of different build options, weapon options and things. That sword is definitely cooler than that sword. It's nice. It's a Lumineth model. I like some of the elements of it. I don't think they have gotten a lot of love at all. And then their codex, they have their battle tome there. They're also getting a Battle Force box, the Iliathan War Host. That is the Warcry models. And then all of the old stuff. Characters in there as well, which isn't ideal. I don't love it when they put characters in this. But it's a good mix of units if you're looking to start Lumineth. Their new Spearhead is... Oh, the weird kangaroo things. Interesting Spearhead. Huh, I'd like to see those rules. And then their Regiment of Renown is a wizard with manifestations. That is a wild Regiment of Renown, and it kind of feels a little bit lazy. Very much feels like, we're going to re-release the Regiment of Renown. What should we do? We need something cool. Oh, well, we also need to do a box of the manifestations, so just do it all together in one go. But there's actually quite a lot here, so we will go over all of the stuff that's revealed in a bit more detail in a separate video. Lots for AOS. Certainly lots that they didn't talk about. Battle Force boxing things. Pretty cool. Blood Bowl, we have touched on. It is just the High Elves. I think they look good. They're in plastic. There's some interesting models and stuff. They also have their own tokens, which is a thing. They're getting their issue of Spike, which will have their new rules. And Stadium Pack. And cards as well. So no surprises there, I don't think. I think that they look the most High Elf of the High Elf thing that you could expect. And it does work. It fits that old world style in modern plastic. So very cool. Horus Heresy, I think the Custodies were pretty solid. This is a good looking battle group. Standouts for me, I mean the detail on these is stunning. Poses are pretty good, the helmets look great. It looks like they've been slightly upscaled. But on the whole, some nice looking models. He looks cool. I like that face as well. Very cool. The tanks were the standout for me. I love these Grav tanks. Dreadnoughts look cool. I mean, the level of detail, if you want to go into it, there's going to be some Golden Demon entries. That is this Dreadnought. I am pretty sure. Even on this spear itself, there's so much that you could do with the blade, and then obviously the muzzle there of the bolt side of it. Grip and wear and tear and things. I think these are going to be stunning models. Shield Captain, solid. A couple of different options as well. Venatari are looking pretty cool. I do love those pistols. Now they're in plastic, maybe I'll start using them. Interesting to see size of these as well. The Grav tank is cool. I think that Grav carrier thing is just ridiculous. It can carry 7 Custodies, 1 squad and a character. Little note rules. These are all plastic as well. That is just beautiful. They're getting their Liber as well, which is no surprise. I thought this would have been out December, honestly, but it's probably coming February. Very cool. And just to confirm, A rules update for Adeptus Custodes is set for later this year for 40k. Well, that will be the next edition. Have they just confirmed the Custodes Codex is coming out this year? I wonder what that means. But 7 of these new units will fit perfectly suitable to represent current units in 40k. I think there's going to be a lot of questions around this. And if this is where Custodians are going for 40k, they're looking pretty good. I like it, and I'd love to see the scale of one of these standard Custodians. Or we'll be back up at the top. One of these Guard against a Primaris. They should be that little bit taller. And they look pretty big next to the Solar Auxilia Guardsmen. I think that they've got a good reveal, and I think the tanks were amazing. Super heavy, the Glaive super heavy special tank with the Whirlwind coming as well, and they're going to get rules in the Mailed Fist, Journal Tactica number 4. Touch on that tomorrow. And finally, the final bit of 40k. Looks like Iron Warriors is a thing. This is all labelled up as the Eye of Terror, which they are confirming. New 40k supplement. Eye of Terror due out in a few months, so this will be after the Maelstrom. So we know where we're going next. And it looks like we are getting a selection, because I'd be surprised if this was all just one model. Now that looks like a Dreadnought, or an Obliterator size claw. This isn't one model. I think the next command squad is potentially going to be Iron Warriors, or command squad style, like Titus, like Huron has just got. Yeah, I think that's where we're going. But again, we'll talk about this more tomorrow. On the whole, pretty solid. Some really cool things shown off. AOS, definitely eating good with Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Red Corsairs looking amazing. Eldar Corsairs, I don't think that they're looking bad, but they look like you expect them to look. Whereas the Red Corsairs were just, I think their individual units are just a step above. And yeah, I mean, I should give you a pick of the preview. We do that on the weekly previews, the pre-order articles. It's tough. I think my pick of the preview for this 2026 preview stream is going to be the Mortis Reapers. And I've just had a crazy thought that they could be demons in a... I'm going to cross the streams. This is going to annoy a lot of people. You could make these some sort of cool demon unit for Huron Blackheart. There we go. But I think the Bone Assassins, as chat has called them, just incredible. I love everything about these. And I love everything about the Red Corsairs. But the Red Corsairs, a lot of what made them work was how they link in with the existing units. And the upgrade sprue did a lot of heavy lifting. That army box looked great. And there's only 2 new units in there. There's 5 units in the army box. So, solid all round, really good preview. Blood Bowl did Blood Bowl things. AOS, a little bit lackluster, but I think that they front loaded it with Bone Reapers. Was amazing. Your wallet can handle or can't handle. Because my wallet is already screaming at me. I can hear it out in the hallway. Hopefully none of this stuff is coming out any time near each other. I don't know how hard we're going to go into Bone Reapers. I definitely think I would like to pick up their Battle Tome at release and then take it from there. I would like to start doing more with AOS Battle Tomes. I've got a few to talk about. I really just need to do more. I need more time. That, for me, that's the unit of the stream. The preview is definitely those. But Red Corsairs, we may be doing Space Wolves versus Red Corsairs in a boarding actions campaign. How does that sound? Let me know in the comments. Zenny, huge shout out for you being here. Thank you very much for keeping me company. It's always great to have you here. And everyone else who's dropped in, thanks for being here. Thanks for popping in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you didn't see all of my reaction, this stream is going to stay up as long as the copyright stuff doesn't take it down. We should be okay. We did mute a lot of it. But I will be back over the next couple of days to talk more about these articles. We'll run through them and I'll give you my thoughts once I've slept on it. But pretty good. Let me know in the comments below, either now in the live stream or of the video, what stood out for you the most and what has you most excited about the next few months of this great hobby that we all enjoy. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all, if I remember how this works, in the next one. Good night.